Precinct. Please take your seats. I've been asked by Precinct 7 to reconvene out in the hallway right now, but we're going to start the meeting right now, too.
We're going to be missing a precinct.
I know. Becca, why don't we stay? Can you do it afterwards? Can you do it afterwards? 1 second.
Money talks. Good evening.
Good evening.
Money talks.
Oh, my God.
What's going on in here?
I don't know. Let me see.
Take care.
So if
My
that,
colleague, was here the first time we did this book. Maybe she ran out of numbers.
and you,
Okay, good evening, everyone. All right, we're ready to start. Please take your seats. All right, let's start the meeting. Good evening. Tonight is Monday, May 18th, and I call to order the fifth session of the 2026 Annual Town Meeting for the Town of Stoughton. This meeting is now in session. This town meeting is being held in person at the Stoughton High School Auditorium at 232 Pearl Street, Stoughton. This meeting is also being broadcast live through Stoughton Media Access Corporation and is being recorded for future broadcasting. Please rise and stand as you are able and join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. Please be seated. All right, just to remind everybody, back on May 4th, I introduced all our town officials. Tonight, we have Brian Winter from the law firm of Mead, Talaman, and Costa as our town counsel. Welcome back, Brian.
Very nice.
He asked me to say that a couple times. So that's Brian Winter over here. All right, again, make sure your precinct chairs and town clerk's office has any email address changes and updates. And obviously online, you can double check if your email address is correct online on the town clerk's webpage. Again, remember, one technical question per article per town meeting rep. Please silence your phones. All right, now we're going to try to ascertain the quorum. All right, Precinct 1, Kendall, 12. Precinct 1, 12. George Stalinsky, Precinct 2. All right, he's counting. 17 for Precinct 2. Precinct 3, Matt Callis, 12 for Precinct 3. Julie Gito, Precinct 4. 18 for Precinct 4. Oh, I'm sorry, 15, 1-5. My mistake, my bad. 15, 1-5 for Precinct 4. Precinct 5, 10 for Precinct 5. Bob Kirby, Precinct 6. 15 for Precinct 6. Diane Dolan for Precinct 7. 11 for Precinct 7. And Susan Rappaport for Precinct 8. 16, 1-6. 13, I'm sorry. 13, 1-3 for precincts. We're saying 13, 1-3? 13, okay, got it. 13 for precinct 8. Stand by for the quorum count. 105 for this evening. So we make quorum, which is 85. We can proceed with our town meeting business this evening. All right, as we do every first night of town meeting or the night of town meeting, we test the clickers. Are we ready? Please test your clickers now. 1, 2, or 3. Okay, stand by. '93, okay. Anybody have any problems with their clicker? Come on up and see the town clerk staff.
I didn't think they allowed flammables in here.
There's also a subscription fee, I'm told, if you want to. Did you pay your monthly fee? Okay, let's just stand by and make sure they get their clickers correct. Are we all set? Okay, thank you very much. So, just a quick summary. People have asked me by email to do a quick summary. This is going to be a very quick summary. So far, we completed the budget and we finished up through Article 36. Now we have 2 petition articles to discuss this evening for the annual town meeting. Article 37 and Article 38. And that's my summary for this evening. Okay, so we're going to proceed. If you can turn to page 45 for the petition articles. And Article 37, charter change for town council to review petition articles. And Roberta Harback, are you here this
Present.
evening? I didn't see you over there, Roberta.
Well,
Okay.
I want to keep this thing moving.
Thank you very much. We're going to keep it moving. Thank you for that reminder. All right, can I have the motion, Roberta?
The motion for Article 37, charter change for town council to review petition articles. That the town vote to amend the town charter, Chapter 7-1, annual and special town meetings, to include town council will legally review all petition warrant articles. To see if the town will vote to place on the 2026 midterm election or on the 2027 annual town election ballot. The question to read, shall the town amend the Town of Stoughton Charter as set forth in the warrant article?
All right, thank you very much. Is there a second? Who seconded? George Zelinski. Thank you, George. All right, I need Municipal Regulations Committee. I'll read that. The report, they voted 5-0 to 2. That's 2 abstentions to approve and recommend at town meeting Article 37 as written in the warrants. All right, so Roberta, can we have a presentation, please?
What do I get, 20 minutes?
No. 10 minutes, if you need 10 minutes.
I'll keep it short and sweet. The reason for my article is I want everybody here to be afforded the same luxury as the Select Board and any other committee to have Town Council review their petition warrant article. We have a few a year, me and the next woman after me, and if my article passes and I worded it incorrectly, the AG's office doesn't like it, then it gets kicked back. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
Thank you, Roberta. All right, this is the time for technical questions. Anybody for technical questions? Carmel, are you over here? Carmel?
Carmel Drews, Precinct 5, and Clerk of the Charter Review Committee. Through you, Mr. Moderator, to the presenter, I'm curious about why we're seeing a proposed change to the charter come before us as a petitioned article rather than going through the Charter Review Committee.
The reason why I didn't petition the Charter Review Committee or approach them is because it's not necessary. This will go to the voters. The Charter Review Committee is reviewing the charter. This is something I have thought for years that should be added, and that's why I submitted it.
Okay, thank you both. Anybody else with technical questions? Noah, please introduce yourself.
Noah Beta Aron, Precinct 6. Through you, Mr. Moderator, to Town Council. As as we've seen, especially this month, a lot of people submit last minute, just 48 hours before the vote, kind of amendments to things. Would that process be delayed in any way by having to have you review every one of those amendments?
Okay, yes, for that, for town council?
Yes.
Okay, I'll defer to town council.
Mr. Moderator, through you to the speaker, the way the motion is phrased, it refers to legally review all petition warrant articles. And so I take that to mean the article itself. Petitions are due pretty early in the calendar, so if this were to pass, I imagine it would be quite a few months that we would have to review these before town meeting actually took place.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you both. Next up. Hi, Teddy, is it? Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, Teddy Hanson-Dorr, Precinct 3. I'm curious about how town council's fund would be, how their time would be funded if they are reviewing these. Just, I know that we sort of have you on call for various different legal things, so I want to know if this would be inside of that or separate from that. I'm not sure who should answer that, but.
Can anybody answer that?
You look at,
Something from the budget?
Mr. Moderator, to the speaker, the charges that would be incurred by the town for this type of request would be an addition charge to what we already have in our legal budget.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Next, who's next?
Hi, Amy Poliafco, Precinct 4, and I'm the current Charter Review Chair. My question is for Town Council. I'm asking this as an attorney. Are you concerned at all about conflict of interest if some random person in town can essentially hire you as an attorney and propose something that maybe the Select Board doesn't agree with? And how would you handle that?
Go ahead, town council.
Mr. Moderator, through you to the speaker. So let me answer it in two ways, because there's a lot to unpack in your question, so I'll try to be succinct, but there's a lot there that could be discussed. So first of all, I don't think it's an illegal article. There are a handful of towns that have something similar to this, not this language for sure, but something similar, maybe 8 or 9 different towns that I'm aware of. And I don't want to make comments on policy. That's for all of you to decide, not me. But what I will say is it creates a couple of different layers of concern. My client, under my rules of professional responsibility, is to the Board of Selectmen by and through a majority of its members. Giving legal advice to non-clients is problematic in my world. I'm not insured for that, and it can't create an attorney-client relationship with someone who's not my client. And so what if they disagree with that advice? Can I be sued for malpractice? All those questions are raised by something like this, right? And to answer your more specific question, the language does not refer to the manner of my counsel's review, whether it's me or someone else. It just says legally review. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but it doesn't say as to form, it doesn't say as to substance, and so telling the difference between form and substance can be a challenge. And so as you mentioned, if the Select Board has undertaken some sort of policy position or initiative and I'm asked to take or give advice that is in conflict with that, at the end of the day, I have to honor my rules of professional conduct. That's how I keep my license. And so there are a lot of issues to navigate here. And because I don't want to advise on policy, I'm going to stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Town Council.
Hi, my question is also for
Can you
Town
please
Council.
identify
Rachel
yourself?
Lazarus, Precinct 4. My question is also for Town Council. Would you advise us to pass this amendment as written?
What?
I know you can't give a definitive answer, but if you could indicate what your legal advice would be for us? Because it kind of seems like you're saying that if the language was different, it might be more workable.
You want to try to answer that for her?
I'm afraid that I can't answer the question of what should this town meeting do to amend a petitioned article to make it more acceptable to me. It's not a legal question, it's a practical question in terms of implementation. There are processes in this town for vetting things like this, and that's usually where those questions get asked and discussed and refined. And so perhaps my one bit of advice would be that perhaps those bodies and those officials could consider something like this so that those kinds of practical considerations and considerations about implementation could be refined.
To be clear, that would be like the.
You already
just a
had so many
clarification.
questions.
Okay.
We're all set. Thank you very much for your comments. All right, next up is Mr. Peter Murphy, then we'll get to Mr. Lawrence.
Peter Murphy, Precinct 2. Through you, Mr. Moderator, to the attorney. Isn't there something already in our charter that we're allowed to talk to legal counsel on various motions?
Go ahead, Mr. Town Council.
It's not in the charter, through you, Mr. Moderator, to Mr. Murphy. There's a select board policy, and it's called Access to Town Council. Now, that's just a policy that the select board enacted, I don't know how many years ago, but a long time ago, before my time. And it includes...
I think we lost you.
Yeah, it just cut out. Oh, I'm back. That while town meeting... While town... One more time. Okay.
Don't break it.
I'm the only one talking. It's running out of batteries. I've been doing so much talking. So the policy says that while town meeting is in session, town meeting reps may access town council. And I know that you are aware of this because we've spoken before using that policy. The way this is written is different. It doesn't say town meeting reps. It says town council will legally review all petition warrant articles, which could come from any citizens groups. So this is different than the policy. And this is suggesting that it be embedded in your charter, which is also completely different. It couldn't be changed without another charter amendment, where the select board policy can be changed as the select board sees fit.
Good answer.
Thank you very much. I think it's still working. Yep. Thank you. All right, Mr. Lurie?
David Lurie, Precinct 6. Is there anything, through you, Mr. Moderator, is there anything in this amendment to the charter prevent you from recusing yourself on anything that's not appropriate for you to be involved with?
Here's a new...
I don't believe there's anything legally preventing us from recusing ourselves, except for the practical consideration that that means the select board would have to retain and fund the services of another attorney to come in and perform that function. So you would then be paying for 2 law firms potentially to be representing the town, so that at least the unconflicted firm or attorney would be able to respond.
Thank you, Attorney Winter. All right. Mr. Gito?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I was under the impression that the reasons for town meeting and the value of a town meeting was to deal with the issues that not only the town employees and the selectmen were interested in, but that the townspeople themselves were part of the process of dealing with issues that came that they wanted put before the town. From what I'm hearing, people who were not in the list that I mentioned would need to have their own counsel prepare an appropriate article. That doesn't seem to be the way that our charter was put together, but maybe I am wrong. And so my interpretation has been...
Mr. Gito, I'm going to ask you, is there a question in there?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Please
That
ask the question.
the citizens of the town had the opportunity and responsibility, if they thought were so inclined, to submit articles that they thought were important for the betterment of the town. And so my question to the council and anyone else who would like to answer is, wasn't that part of the original compact that that communities had when the town meeting form of government was put together? Question, answer.
Okay. Anybody answer that? Could you repeat your question one more time so we have a clear question? Mr.
I don't
Gito?
think I need to, but I will.
Thank you.
Our form of government expects the citizens to participate and be part of the process of determining how the town should function, what things should happen. It is not just 5 people or some members of the town employee who bring things forward or should bring things forward. That is my understanding of how town government was put together. Is that true or false? That's the question.
Okay.
Has a question mark at the end.
Mr. Cavey, could you answer Mr. Gito?
Yeah, I'll make an effort to. The short answer is I don't believe that's true, right? So we have representatives who are able to speak on the behalf of the citizens in this town. In the case of having access to town council, that is, according to our own laws, really only permissible for certain people, right? So the select board has access. I think the chair of the finance committee has access through a committee vote. There's a couple of others. But the petition article itself, the purpose of it is to circumvent the select board and bring a petition directly to this body. With town council being essentially under the control of the select board in this instance, it creates a little bit of a paradox where the people you're trying to circumvent now get to inject themselves into that process. And I believe that might be the problem that Mr. Winter was really signaling about, describing earlier. And the way that our laws are constructed, there is no mechanism for people to appeal directly to town meeting and also receive legal advice at the expense of the town. But if I'm mistaken about
Are you a lawyer?
All right.
I would like counsel to answer that question.
I think he's asking for counsel for the primary question about citizens should participate, not just 5 people. And so forth. If we can get an answer.
If you would like me to frame this in a different form.
Well, let's see if town council can answer that, because I don't want it to go back and forth, back and forth.
Well, I'm not trying
All right.
to go back and forth either, but what I'm trying to do is get to the point of if a petitioner feels that something should happen in the town, it would seem that the town would be interested in having that petitioner's request in a form that the town could vote on it. We did not always have a representative town meeting form of government. Many communities do not have a representative town meeting form of government. So please answer.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Winter.
I'll do my best to try to respond to that. And I'll say so in two ways. One is, outside of your charter, the Massachusetts legislature has established a process for citizens to petition their government for that exact reason, so they can participate and get a warrant article. It's the only way someone can put an article on the warrant other than through the select board, is through a citizen's petition. So we have 351 cities and towns, and it's no different in any in those communities. In an open town meeting, the citizens of the town do not have direct access to town council. And in representative town meetings, it's also very exceedingly rare, other than the 8 or 9 towns I mentioned, where they do have a bylaw that permits some sort of abbreviated meeting or office hour, if you will. But it's exceedingly rare for any citizens or representatives at a representative town meeting to have that access. So I don't think the question goes to the fundamentals of town government or a compact or anything of that sort. It's about, who does the attorney represent? Now, I've been to many, many town meetings over my career, and there are many, many citizens petitions that I've seen, and it's often the case that the proponents of those citizens petitions have hired their own counsel and spent their own money to achieve whatever political goals they're attempting to achieve. Under this scenario, where citizens or town meeting reps would have direct access to counsel, I mean, as we mentioned before, and as a few people mentioned before, there are some complications to that. But one of the biggest concerns is that the entire town would be paying for that. It's taxpayer-funded public legal services in that case, and that would be very unusual, aside from all the other complications we've discussed. But I think that is something that's somewhat contrary to the form of government that you would see in the 351 other cities and towns. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, Attorney Winter. Thank you, Mr. Judo. All right, Lisa Lyons, are you?
Lisa Lyons, Precinct 2. Can you please explain the current process that town meeting reps have access to town council to write a petitioned article? Because there's a lot of new members here, and to add to that, we represent the taxpayers. The taxpayers are paying for everything anyways. In addition to what the process is, why wouldn't we allow not only the town meeting reps, which you say we currently do have, allow our citizens? We are representatives. They're paying for every single thing we vote on here tonight.
Okay. I think Mr. Winter already answered that. Would anybody else like to answer that? No? Mr. Scott Carrara?
Mr. Moderator, to the current speaker. The Board of Selectmen votes Town Council as our consultant. They're our consulting firm. They handle all the intricacies. They look at stuff that's brought to the warrant, but citizens' petitions fall on the citizens in their group that signed them. They don't have access to town council. It's like trying to beat up against yourself. If it was going to be in a warrant article and this board thought that much of it, it'd be in this book. But some things, they get leveraged against us 5 people, as Lou calls it, because, he doesn't remember when he was up here. But
Please, no attacking.
it's all right when he says stuff.
Scott, please, let's not attack anybody.
But what I'm trying to say is,
Let's be
the
cordial
town
to each
council,
other.
town council has said 3 different times, and he can't come out and say it any clearer. It's almost a conflict, because it's done by its citizens' position on a state law that gives them the right. That's it.
Can I
And
ask
all-
a clarification?
And all people out
No, we're not going to go back and forth.
It's not a back and forth, it's to...
It's another question. I think
No,
Scott
it's the
answered.
same, I didn't get an answer to my question is...
I think you did.
What is the current process? I heard earlier that town meeting reps do have access to town council to review.
No, they don't.
And I was asking for what office hours I heard?
All right, I'm told that the process is on the town website under the E-code. I don't have the page
Yeah,
number in
I'm
there.
asking the question for myself, for the
I'm
other
answering your
members in
question.
this town, and, well, I'd like to hear it verbally here for the record. That's my question.
Would you be able to answer that, where we find that process on the webpage? I'm told it's under E-code.
Can somebody please read it?
Just hold on a second,
that's-
please.
well,
Be
I'm just
patient.
trying to make sure
Be patient.
I will be
Please, I don't
patient.
want to argue with you. Please be patient. Hang on a minute.
Mr.
We're gonna
Moderator.
have the-
Oh, sorry. Looks sounds like you've got somebody.
Gonna have the town clerk answer that.
There's a tab in the town clerk department that has the town charter and bylaws, and if you click on that, it takes you to a link that takes you right to E-code.
Okay, I'm asking for the process to be read here at town meeting for the record.
No, we don't have to do that. I mean, you got your question answered.
That's an injustice to me, to
Well,
the town
thank you.
meeting reps here who
That's your
want it,
opinion.
and the citizens.
We're gonna move on. All right. Mr.
Yes,
Starr?
Edward Starr,
Do you
Precinct 6.
have a question, sir?
Precinct 6, Edward Starr. Can you hear
Yes.
me all right? We have a free service on Rockland Street in this town where we have access to any lawyer we want over 62 years old. So anyone over senior that wants to petition something doesn't have to go to another lawyer. And so this lawyer here doesn't have to spend extra time for every petition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Starr. Thank you very much. Mr. Wilkinson?
Steve Wilkinson, Precinct 4, move the question.
We haven't heard pro and con debate yet. And then you can move the question when we get into that. Okay, I think we're going to move on. Pro and con debate. Carmel, go ahead, Carmel.
Carmel Drews, Precinct 5, and current clerk of the Charter Review Committee. I'm against this article almost precisely for the reason that this article is needed, because in putting this together, the petitioner did not have access to someone to provide them with the guidance to make it be as robust as possible and as useful as possible. So after a few years on the Charter Review Committee, it seems to me that something like this is much, much better as a policy or procedure of the town rather than being something that's written into our charter that allows for more flexibility. It allows for it to be shaped and guided to meet the town's needs, and it also gives us some guardrails against anyone potentially acting in bad faith and pulling like 50 petitioned articles and using a huge amount of our money for town council's time to review them. So I strongly support the idea of this because we've all seen really good ideas come to the floor that were worded in a way that didn't let them go into implementation from petitioned articles. But I discourage this as it's currently written, and I discourage placing this action in the charter rather than somewhere within our policies and procedures. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on. Eric Coleman.
Eric Coleman, Precinct 5. I looked at this, it sounds nice, but I think the approach should have been go to the Charter Review Committee, have it as a suggestion, let them use their minds and figure out what is good, and then they can get some legal advice, I would imagine, through the Board of Selectmen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. Mr. Murphy.
Peter Murphy, Precinct 2. I've had 3 articles come before this body over the years. And the first one was the first of the sunset law, bylaw. And what happened was it got passed by this body back in 2017. For some reason, it did not go to the Attorney General because it didn't have the word bylaw. So I brought it back before this body, 3 years later, I think, whatever. And what happened was with the word bylaw, this body approved it. The following year, I was called upon to hold back on the sunset bylaw because one council did not approve of the wording of it. I had at that point met up with our town attorney, our town manager, and the accountant to go over this and clarify that. That article came before you a couple of years ago. And as you recall, it is now in practice. It has freed up $8, $9, $10 million. If you notice, we have a lot of free cash now because of that bylaw. The second article that I had was the sidewalks on Turnpike Street. I went before the select board, they approved it. I went before the finance committee, went before engineering and everything. On the floor, I had to withdraw that article because it did not go by legal counsel. It was not telling where the money was coming from exactly. So I pulled that back. By the way, that's sitting on my desk at home. I will blow the dust off of it. The third article, as you recall, was the noise ordinance. And that went through town manager, the enforcement officer, the chief of police, and the attorney. That would not have gone through without legal counsel, the police department, town manager, and the code enforcement officer. By the way, it's working very good. So with this here, it may not be written exactly the way because there was no legal counsel to help with that. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your comments. Mr. Cavey, you're next.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I actually support this article in its spirit. I think that I've seen too many really good ideas and really thoughtful attempts to do good by this community fall apart because of some sort of a minor technicality. I think that's, given the amount of time and work people have to do to get petitioned before a town meeting, it's a lot of work, and it's heartbreaking to see the hard work of people who care fail because they weren't able to get legal support. What I will say is that if this article, so technically the portion of the bylaws of our E-code that covers this is Chapter 205, which is not a part of the charter. It's part of the of our bylaws, which are adopted by the select board, and all of the directives of who can use town council are directed by. These are all things that the select board has voted on in the past. If this fails tonight, I will ask my colleagues to consider finding another path forward for this, and I would like very much to have this available and for us to consider it and try to do our best to find a way to offer that kind of support because I do think it's very valuable. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cavey. Mr. Wilkinson.
Steve Wilkinson, Precinct 4, move the question.
Okay, seconded by Bob Cohn. Thank you, Mr. Wilkinson. All right, I think we had it, debated this all we can. All right, we need 2/3 to cut off the bait. Let's try a voice vote first. All in favor of cutting off the bait, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes clearly have it. All right, I'm told this is we're going to vote on this, but this needs a 2/3 vote because it's going to go to the ballot. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll ask town council.
Proposed amendment to the charter that's also going to appear as a ballot question, forgive me, under Chapter 43B, Section 10, requires a 2/3 vote.
Thank you, town council. Appreciate that. All right, are we ready to vote? Please vote now. 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, shit, I can vote.
Well, we have to censor the
I'm
you.
sorry. I was just kind of...
We have to. All right, Article 37 clearly fails. 44 yes, 73 no, 5 abstentions. All right, thank you all for voting. Let me just note that here. Yes, Mr. Dillon, you have a point of order?
Point of order. Last week, we had an article, I think Articles 14 or 34, about non-payment of taxes, and we had a gentleman looking to do some work in the town. The police chief pointed out that he owed a detailed pay of over $500. and there were back taxes owed of $10,000. And I had asked what the amount of money that was owed to the town, that the assistant town manager was supposed to have an answer for us last Wednesday, which I didn't get. And I was wondering if we have that answer as of tonight as to how much money is owed to the town in back taxes and in fees.
Mr. Dolinsky, I think that article failed anyways. You could ask that question off the microphone, right?
Well, whether it did or it didn't, I still asked the question anyway, and I think I deserve an answer.
You do deserve an answer, but not at this point.
That was
All
a
right.
point of information.
But we're not discussing that article, sir.
I disagree with you.
No, I disagree with you cordially, too.
You're the boss.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Article 38, land acknowledgement sign on town properties, and that is at the middle of that page 45. Sylvia Whiting, please go to the podium. Thank you.
I get COVID.
All right, Sylvia, I'm going to ask you for the motion. Could you read your motion, please?
The motion. Oh, I don't have my glasses. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. To see if the town will vote to formally acknowledge the indigenous peoples historically associated with the land now comprising the town of Stoughton by designating Glen Echo Park as an indigenous land acknowledgement site to celebrate the early history as Indigenous Peoples' Day, to see if the town will vote to appropriate a sum of money not to exceed $5,000 for design, fabrication, activities, and installation of commemorative signage at said location for educational and historical purposes, said funds to be appropriated from free cash, and to authorize the Select Board to approve the final wording and installation of such signage in consultation with the town manager, the Stoughton Historical Society, and representatives of the indigenous community, provide that such appropriation shall be a one-time expenditure and shall not establish any ongoing financial commitment or take any other action relative thereto.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second? Who seconded it? Is there? I just need clarification from town council. Did you, Sylvia, didn't you submit a motion? You're reading the article.
Oh, then I don't think I have the motion language here.
You have it out.
I don't have it with me. Does somebody have the motion? I don't think I have the motion. Oh, that's it? Okay. Move that the town, under Article 38, vote to establish indigenous land acknowledgement sites at designated town locations.
Okay, thank you. That's the motion. Is there a second? Seconded by George Stalinsky. Let me read. Can I have the Finance Committee report, please? Becca Moxton.
Finance Committee report, because this is a petitioned article, the Finance Committee voted 10 to 3 to 1 to refer this article to town meeting.
Thank you. Can I have Municipal Operations Committee report, please?
Municipal Operations voted 5 yes, 0 no, and 2 abstentions to approve and recommend to town meeting Article 38 as written in the warrant.
Thank you very much. All right, Sylvia, it's your presentation.
Thank you. First of all, we'd like to give a little, you could go to this, do I do that? I go to the second slide? Okay. We're going to cover 3 areas: Indigenous Peoples' Day, the significance of 2026, and land acknowledgement. Indigenous Peoples' Day was approved by this body in 2024. What we've done since that time is we've had events for the last couple of years, some fairly small events, so we really like to we'd like to build on those, expand these events. We'd also like to have Indigenous Peoples' Day acknowledged similar to how Martin Luther King Day is acknowledged in the town, and Juneteenth, and there is funding for both of those events and days, and so we hope that eventually Indigenous Peoples' Day will be acknowledged the same way that those events are acknowledged. The significance, I just want to briefly talk about the significance of this historical acknowledgement. The town was incorporated 300 years ago, and it's really significant that we're actually celebrating the 300th anniversary this year. However, the town maybe started to be acknowledged at that point, but it certainly didn't begin at that point. And so we really are asking to acknowledge the early history, which goes back thousands of years. This history is certainly relevant, and even more relevant where we're acknowledging our 300th anniversary. This was inhabited land. It's really been documented through the Historical Society and through the archives. And so it's really this early history that we feel is extremely important to acknowledge and recognize. We cannot celebrate the current history without really celebrating the early history. I'd like to turn the rest part of the presentation over to Thomas Green, who's a member of the Massachusetts tribe, of which Stoughton is a part.
Waniki Suk, Nawisawak Thomas Green, Massachusetts Tantawak Nawisawak Nashawak Matank, Nuchipanoak Napansit, Massachusetts Pankapowag, Kuni Piamunaman. What I just said to you all in a language that my ancestors were put to death for speaking 350 years ago is good evening. My name is Thomas Green. My name in the Massachusetts language is Spiritry, and I descend from the Neponset Band of Massachusetts who gathered at the praying town of Ponkapog. And I'd like to welcome all of you to my ancestral homeland. The Massachusetts are the original indigenous inhabitants of every place that you all know between Cape Ann and Cape Cod. There was a Massachusetts Confederation here, and the Neponset Band would migrate seasonally back and forth over the Great Blue Hill. And in the summertime, we would be in the Boston area, in the harbor, on the harbor islands, and on the open ocean. And in the winter, we would go back to the other side of Blue Hills to afford protection against the winter weather into our wintering home, which was called Ponkapog. In 1657, the apostle to the Indians, John Eliot, petitioned the Dorchester proprietors to allow the Indians at Ponkapog to have a place that they may rest and pray, and the Dorchester proprietors allotted 6,000 acres to those Indians. Since then, the land that was allocated to those Indians has been systematically taken away, even though they were removed from this place and promised that it would be theirs forever. Stoughton in the town of Canton, which all used to be part of Dorchester and controlled by the Dorchester proprietors, is smack dab in the middle of the Massachusetts Confederation territory. This is why we're asking to be acknowledged as the original indigenous inhabitants of Stoughton today. A land acknowledgement, or the point of a land acknowledgement, is to acknowledge the original indigenous inhabitants. You can find the records of this inhabitants through the Mass Archives, through the writings of Major Daniel Gookin, who was the steward of the Indians in the early 1600s during the initial colonization of these lands, as well as the town of Canton, or the history of the town of Canton, that was written by Huntoon. My family, particularly, I descend from the Crowd family, who were the Mohos, who were the Wampatucks, who were the Chickataubits. My great-great-grandfather was the one that signed most of the deeds that the English received from the indigenous population from Cape Ann to Cape Cod. And this is another reason why we're asking to be acknowledged. This is a small area. Glen Echo happens to be just adjacent to, and keep in mind, we were allocated 6,000 acres back in 1657. We now possess 9 of those acres on Indian Lane in Canton and in Stoughton. Thank you for the Stoughton to allow us access to those lands via service road. We appreciate that. We have always had friends in the town of Stoughton through the Historical Society and through the town's government. We are asking for this land acknowledgement to be set in place and for $5,000 to be allocated to create signage that acknowledges that presence, the presence or the past and the presence of the Massachusetts tribe who gathered at the praying town of Ponkapaug, in order to offer recognition and respect to the tribe, create broader public awareness, counter the doctrine of discovery, and that is a history prior to 1726, repair relations with the indigenous communities and the land, support larger truth-telling and reconciliation efforts, and open space with reverence and respect, and inspire an ongoing action in relationship building with the tribe today. So I thank all of you for voting on this petition. Indigenous petitions are not something that have ever been, I guess, agreed upon by the dominant culture whenever indigenous people were to file them. So we would appreciate if you could vote and approve this motion today to allocate $5,000 to acknowledge and recognize the original indigenous inhabitants, the Massachusetts tribe at Ponkapaug. Kutapatish. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'd just like to add that that's a sample of some of the signage that's at Peddocks Island in Boston Harbor. We don't know if our signage would be exactly like that, but at least it's a sample of what we're talking about, in addition to having some events, some literature, an actual day that we would do this acknowledgement, and hopefully during 2026, during the 300th anniversary year. Just to close, we'd like to thank our supporters, community supporters, and the committee for helping to put this together. And also, we ask that town meeting will respectfully honor this request and approve this warrant article. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. All right, technical questions?
Steve Wilkinson, Precinct 4. I offer an amendment to the motion, Article 38, and that is move that the town under Article 38 vote to provide signage indicating indigenous land acknowledgement, including the name of the tribe with an example of Ponkapaug, Massapog, etc., which may or may not be appropriate. As a matter of course, when new signage is established at these sites, or as existing signs are renovated at designated town locations. I'd like to thank Ms. Whiting for bringing this forward. I think it's a great idea, and what I'm attempting to do is to expand it so that, in addition to the acknowledgement at Glen Echo, as we are erecting signs around town for new projects, new places, that we acknowledge who came before us. I've seen this in other places. It's very powerful.
Are you making a presentation right now?
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. We got to
Okay.
get a second on your motion.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Who seconded it? Bob Cohen seconded the motion. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
So the idea behind this is to expand upon, not just doing it once, but doing it as a matter of course, so that people's consciousness is raised, so that we think about this. And I think I just said, I've seen it other places, and it's really great. It really makes you think. So that's why I ask for your support for the amendment to this motion and for the motion itself. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the amended motion that's on the screen now. Once it comes up on the screen. Technical questions on that? Who is up next? John, go ahead.
John Linehan, Precinct 1. Is there a reason you didn't include the Conservation Commission when you were listing those groups? Because they have care, custody, and control of the vast majority of Glen Echo and many other natural spaces throughout town. So you certainly want to include them as one of the groups.
If we could get an answer to that, that'd be fine.
We had
Sylvia?
asked the town, actually the select board had supported this, gave us some language. The previous article was certainly relevant because we did consult with the select board and asked what appropriate language would be. We didn't actually list organizations or groups, but certainly the town, including the Conservation Commission, the Historical Society, and others, are supportive of this, and we'd certainly consult with you as far as installing any signage. We have to get the approval of the select board and the town manager anyway, so I think it's all included in that in your question.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Ani Feinberg.
Arnie Feinberg, Precinct 6. I got a question. In Glen Echo Park, there is a sign that already exists.
Ani, this is on the amended motion now. Right? Your question's on the amended motion, whether or not to amend.
Okay. Then the question I have is, how many sites are you planning on putting this in, and what are the costs for each site?
Steve, if you can answer that.
Go ahead. Sure. Thanks, John.
Feel like a little bit of.
Steve Wilkinson, Precinct 4. The idea behind the amendment is that it wouldn't really cost anything more because it's going to be done as part of posting of signs as we go along. So if, for example, we decide to put a marker on a given trail at Bird Street, this would be added as part of it. So it really wouldn't cost anything or very much more to just have this acknowledgement.
Okay, thank you. Next up is John Anzavino.
John Anzavino, Precinct 4. Along those lines, I just wanted to make note that the original motion carried a certain amount of money, a limit. The amendment does not list anything for what they would be doing for signs. So just wanted to point that out. I guess the question would be, why is there no money in the amendment, but there was money in the original?
Steve, if you can answer that.
I'm not sure why there was the amount of money in the original. I can't really speak to that. But my idea was to have minimal costs associated with it by just making it part of a matter of course, so that whenever we're putting up new signs or replacing old signs, we just include this. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you. Noah, you're next.
Noah Betaron, Precinct 6. My question is about the amendment, but it's for the original presenters, because I would love to get a sense of whether you would support this amendment to your work, or if there's something wrong with it. Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and answer that. I appreciate the gentleman with the amendment's sentiment for this, but just to clarify, there is only one group of original indigenous inhabitants, and that is the Massachusetts tribe. Massapog is just a body of water that is around the area of Ponkapog. It is not a tribe or a group of people, just to clarify that. Yes, and Petix is not in this area. That is on the harbor. But like I said, the Massachusetts tribe were the leadership of a larger confederation that spanned from Cape Ann to Cape Cod prior to colonization here. So again, the Massachusetts tribe would be the original indigenous inhabitants. And I would encourage anyone to simply Google that. You can find this information by Googling.
Okay, thank you very much.
It wasn't, I'm sorry, it wasn't clear enough to me from that whether, I appreciate the correction, but would you support the amendment to the article, or would you prefer that the article remain as written?
Well, yes, we would prefer that the article remain as such, being as though the article is asking to amend to also include acknowledging the Ponkapog, which again is not a group of people or a tribe, it's a place. It is the wintering home of the Neponset Band of Massachusetts. Massapog is also a body of water that was just in the general area of the praying town of Ponkapog and the Ponkapog wintering grounds. So these are not actual peoples or indigenous groups, these are places, and that is why I would not support that amendment. I appreciate the sentiment, but just to clarify that those aren't people, they're just places.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you both.
Can
All
I
right.
just expand on that, Mr. Moderator?
Quickly.
Okay. Those were given as examples, not necessarily what we would use, but just as potential examples. But I appreciate your raising our consciousness. Thank you.
Okay. Pat Colburn, did you have a question?
Were you ahead of me, Teddy? Okay. My technical question, I think it's similar to what was asked. Would it work if we just tagged this to the end of the original motion and then say, and also move that Article 38 to vote provide signage indicating indigenous land acknowledgement. As a matter of course, when new signage is established at these sites or as existing signs are renovated or designated town location. So basically, in addition to the motion that's there, just say when new signs are updated, make sure we include it. Could it just be tagged onto the end without the...
Let me ask Sylvia. Let's ask the...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood. Are you asking just to have signage to recognize these areas as areas that were occupied by the local indigenous? Or am I misunderstanding this amendment?
I was just thinking that if we basically just took the end of the amendment and added to your original motion, also move that as a matter of course, when new signage is established as these sites or as existing signs are renovated at the designated town locations. Basically, as new signs get changed, we want to
Yes.
add that designation.
Yes, that
So
does
could-
make sense, and we would agree to, yes, we would agree with that.
So would you be willing to accept that as amended language? And it would just, at the end of yours, say, "and so move"?
Yes.
Is that legal, Mr. Winters? Or am I
All
making
right,
it
we're
up
going
on
to
the
ask
fly?
town council if you want to weigh in on that. Can she add the bottom of this motion, the amended motion to the main motion?
Yes, but it would have to be, Mr. Moderator, through you to the speaker.
Sure.
It would have to be a new motion. So the main motion was made and seconded. A motion to amend was made and seconded. So we're past the point where we could do a friendly amendment. So you'd have to make a third order motion to amend, and then we would go back to the amendment.
Okay, so either cancel this or a third. Thank you.
It's all right.
All right, so that has been amended. Wait, Pat Colburn is asked. I guess I can take that as a motion. Was it a motion, Pat? Where are you? Are you making that as a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second. Who's the second? Heidi Tucker. All right. All right, why don't we do this on a voice vote first? All in favor of the amendment to the amendment, to the main motion? No, I shouldn't say that, the amendment to the amendment. All right, I'm told this is on the, excuse me, this is on the amendment to the amendment. All right, if I can have a voice vote?
Point of order, can we get like the exact point, so it will be the point after the closed parentheses that would be added?
I don't know, we have to take a
Thank you.
moment. All right, starting. Pat, are we starting as a matter of? Okay, if you see, I was paying attention, right? Yeah, to the main motion. We got to take a vote on that first. Okay,
Could I make a comment before you do that? Could I make a comment?
quickly, please.
If they removed the Ponkapog, Massapog, etc., and just approved it that way, it would say the name of the tribe as a matter of course when new signage is established. I think that might address the issue. Or you could put in the Massachusetts instead of the tribe.
All right, that gets a
So
little confusing because now
it
it's
would
an
be very
amendment.
simple.
Okay, that's a suggestion, right?
Yes, but
That's,
the amendment to the amendment could just remove that parentheses part, and that could acknowledge what we're looking.
Pat, will you accept that?
The reason I don't think so is because the original motion has a $5,000 request in it. The amended motion does not have a $5,000 request in it. So we don't want to let the amended motion, as it stands, supersede the original, or there'll be no money. So I was just hoping we could tag that little bit at the end as a matter of course when new signage is established at these sites or is existing, whatever it said.
Okay. Okay, just everybody stand by. I got clarification from town council. We're going to vote Pat Colburn's amended motion first,
Tag it on,
adding that as a matter,
tag it on.
right, but it's actually Pat Colburn's. We're going to add as a matter of all the way down to the original motion. We don't have a point of interest. You have to... No, this is just the amendment to the motion. Okay? Then we're going to go back to the main motion as amended. Hold on a minute. Okay. We're getting there. These are things that happens with amendments to the main motions. We can do amendment to the amendment to the amendment to the amendment to the amendment. All right, why don't we move on? Let's move on. All right. We're just standing by for the technical issue here.
Peter Murphy, Precinct 2. I have a technical question, regardless of how the amendment to the amendment goes.
We're not taking technical questions right now. You have a point of order?
Yes, who is going to maintain
What's your
this?
name?
I said that, Peter Murphy, Precinct
Okay.
2. Who's going to maintain, who maintains Glen Echo?
Well, okay, that's a question. That's a technical question.
Okay.
You can take that up in a minute.
It's certainly not us. That authority was taken away from us hundreds of years ago.
And I apologize, I left my regular glasses at home. Moved at the town onto the...
And we're not voting yet, no. We're just trying to put the piece on to the motion.
But that doesn't have the money in it.
This is something
So we wanted the original motion and just to tag on and as a matter of course.
Right.
So whatever the original motion with the dollar amount in it is what we need to be starting with.
Okay. We're just adding, we're just trying to get your amended motion. We'll vote on that. That's going to go attached to the main motion.
Attach.
Attach.
So the wording in bold will be attached to the original.
That's correct.
Okay. That, I think, works. Okay? I'm good with that. Thank you.
Point of order. Point of order, Mr. Moderator.
No, they wanted to do. All right. So we're going to vote on Pat Colburn's amended motion.
Point of order, please.
Who's
Mr.
making this
right
point
here?
of
Me. It's me. It's Carmel. Hi.
Oh, Carmel. I can't discern where the
Carmel
voice is
Drees,
coming
Precinct
from.
5, and a 25-year English teacher. Ms. Colburn, would you mind adjusting your amendment to this to have it be a complete sentence, please? I think it's going to be a lot of confusion. It's a partial sentence tacked on.
I think we're getting a little out of control here to this evening. All right. This is what I'm going to ask to do as the moderator. This is, we're going to vote on Pat Colburn's amended motion. It starts as,
Could we say and as a matter of course, Carmel? Does that make it more of a complete sentence?
Yes, please. Thank you.
And as a matter of course, Reggie, if you could fit that in.
are we okay with that? All right. Is that what you want, Pat?
Yes, I like
Okay.
complete sentences.
All right. We have to vote. Still, all right, I'm told by town council, we're going to vote Pat's first. If it fails, we go back to Steve Wilkinson's
Are we just approving the amendment, or what are we voting on?
Only the amendment, okay? Only the amendment. All right, good.
As revised?
Let's try on voice vote. Are we ready? We're just going to do a voice vote to accept Pat Colburn's amendment. All right? And who seconded Pat Colburn's amendment originally? Heidi Tucker, thank you. All right. On Pat Colburn's amended motion, please vote now. Please vote by voice. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? No. I don't really. You guys. We'll count it. Okay. You can't really tell up here. Let's vote by clicker. For Pat Colburn's amended motion, please vote now. 1, 2, or 3. 1 yes to accept it, 2 no, 3 abstain.
Simple majority?
Simple majority.
Did you vote?
Are we doing it?
Yes, it got it so confusing. It's ridiculous.
Okay, it looks like it passes to me. 72 yes, 44 no, 5 abstentions. Okay, Steve, I'm told we're back to your amended motion. Do you accept this? Okay, Steve accepts this. Okay, main motion as amended. We're going to accept. I'll have any technical questions. Let's make it simple, okay?
Very simple.
Okay.
Hi, Barbara Ansavino, Precinct 4. I just have one quick question. Did you go to CPC, and would CPC pay for this? Because it's historical signs, and we've paid for historical signs in the past.
We included the Historical Society in all of our discussions. They serve on our committee. There was no mention that they would pay for it. The result was that we came to the Select Board and proposed that they do it. It looked like that was going to be delayed, and we felt it was really appropriate to do it during the 300th anniversary year and didn't want to wait. So we did it through a petitioned article.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
All right, who's up next? Arnie Feinberg.
Arnie Feinberg, Precinct 6. By the way, I'm for the original article, but I just want to know, there's an existing sign out there about, I don't know if I'm going to word this right, but indigenous people there. And what's going to happen with that sign? Are you going to modify it, or are you going to create a whole new one?
I walked that site a few days ago, and I could not find any signage out there. There was signage regarding the properties, the buildings that used to be out there. There was a hotel, there was a dance hall, there were people coming by train out to that area, but I could not find the signage. So is it in the woods somewhere? I didn't go in there. I just
I
went.
put it on in a letter that I sent out, a picture of it, and it was located right over where the picnic tables are, near the boat ramp.
All right, let's move on. Thank you, both. All right, this is John Anzavino. You're next.
John Anzavino, Precinct 4. The question I have is, in the motion, you asked for $5,000 from free cash, but I don't know what you're taking that away from.
Do we know, do we have an
What was
answer?
the question? He wanted to know.
Where are you getting the $5,000 from? What's the source?
It would be coming from free cash. That was the source of the funds.
Yes,
Okay.
and usually when you take something and add it here, all the free cash is accounted for, so you need to tell us where the $5,000 would be coming from.
She
That
said
would
free
be
cash,
a
so.
Finance cost.
You don't, obviously, you don't understand the question. If you're moving money from free cash to here, where are you going to take it away from? We have many free cash articles. We have free cash sitting on the table. I'm just asking where it's coming from. Usually you have to say that when you're moving money around. That's all.
All right, stand by. Do we know,
Well, this is why you're supposed to have counsel review your articles.
There's a ton of money available. I don't think we designate where it was coming from. The town would have to do that. I didn't ask for it to come out of any specific account or anything. Sure.
Mr. Moderator, to the
Please
body.
go ahead.
Elizabeth Selesky, assisting with town meeting. Okay. Elizabeth Selesky, assisting with town meeting from the financial standpoint. The free cash right now, because we are in the annual town meeting, we have unallocated free cash of approximately $1,499,000 that's considered the town accountant's holdback. Should this meeting decide that they want to take $5,000 and fund this signage, then it's going to drop your holdback down to $1,494,000, which will reduce your undesignated fund balance going forward. That
Thank
would
you
be
very
the
much,
fund.
Ms. Zaleski.
Okay, thank you. Next up, I have Ed? No. Bob Cohn? No. Peter Murphy?
Peter Murphy, Precinct 2. Who maintains Glen Echo, and when the sign is added, who will maintain that? Through you, Mr. Moderator, whoever can answer it.
Can anybody from the town side answer that?
Who handles Glen Echo? I don't know. We don't.
Mark Tisdale, Assistant Town Manager, our Public Works Department.
You have to speak up, Mark. We can't really hear you.
Mark Tisdale, Assistant Town Manager, our Public Works Department maintains Glen Echo.
Thank you.
All right, is that it for technical questions?
Hey, Mr. Moderator, my listening device is not working.
Can we have some help for Cynthia Walsh, the listening device? All right, I'm going to move on to pro and con debate on this.
I have a question to the town moderator. I just want to make sure that the motion includes the funding. What I had originally read was I thought was the petition article with the funding, but now I'm hearing that the article that I read was only the language of to establish indigenous land acknowledgement sites at designated town locations. It didn't have the backup of the language, so does it include the funding?
I'm going to ask clarification from town council. Put town council on the spot.
Mr. Moderator, through you to the speaker, I don't have a copy of the now amended main motion. I don't know if we could put it back up. But what you read at the beginning of your presentation was the article and not the motion, which are separate things. And so it's only your motion that town meeting will vote on, which, as amended, I believe states, move that the town under Article 38 vote to establish indigenous land acknowledgement sites at designated town locations. That was your motion. So it's since been amended, but the language in your article is not in your motion. So if you wish to add a funding source and that funding source be from free cash, that's an amendment that needs to be made and included in the motion itself.
When we filed the warrant article, it included all of that language, so I don't know how it got transposed to be eliminated.
Town council, go
May I-
ahead. Sure.
So it's a town meeting kind of nuance here. The meeting does not vote articles, it votes motions. And so while sometimes, like in this case, your article is a lengthy, descriptive article, it's the motion that town meeting actually acts upon and not the article itself. And so that language needs to carry over into the motion if you want town meeting's approval of that language. I don't know where the motion came from. It's obviously it's a citizen's petition, and so it wasn't something that I think we played a role in. But if you wish to include the $5,000 from free cash, then the motion needs to be amended to include that. It doesn't automatically carry over from your article.
Can we request that from the floor? I'd like to request that from the floor, that that language be added to the article.
Sylvia, you're a town meeting rep, right?
else with
You're a
that?
town meeting representative.
Yes, I am.
You can make that motion if you so desire.
Yes, I'd like to make the motion that $5,000 be included in this article, and it's funded from free cash.
Second.
Okay, a lot of seconds. Just give me John Rock second. We'll note that as John Rock seconded.
At my town.
The John Rock. All right, town council is going to suggest language to accomplish that motion to the town clerk. It'll be keyed in. In a moment or two. All right, the motion's been amended. We'll just get it up on the screen, then we can take a vote.
You're taking a voice vote on the added?
Yes, the $5,000. Let's just do that now so we keep this meeting going. So we added, the petitioner made a motion to add the $5,000 that they require for the signage. So all those in favor by voice vote, say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Sorry, I'm like...
All right. Any abstentions? Hearing no abstentions, the ayes have it. All right. Let's see if we get that up on the screen. We good? All right, didn't see it? Okay. Pro and con.
David Lurie, Precinct 6. I'm kind of saddened by this. I was going to vote yes on the original motion, which would include the 5,000. I'm in favor of that too. I'm not in favor of the extra language on the amendment, which unfortunately got added on, which is so squishy, the language in there. I don't know what I'm really going to be obligating future projects around town to do. What am I authorizing? I have no idea. It seems crazy that we're going to be tying the hands of future projects to having some arbitrary signage created. And I don't think that's what our job is to do. It's to be clear about how you spend money on future projects. So unfortunately, I'm voting no.
Not surprised.
Thank you for your comments.
Mr. Moderator, I still can't hear what's going on.
All right. All right, we need to take care of Cynthia Walsh.
She has a hearing device, and so somehow she's trying to listen to the person.
Let's just have Cynthia get queued up there with the listening device. Honey, you'll be next. Just give her a moment to get set up there. We good? Okay. Arnie Feinberg, you're next.
Arnie Feinberg, Precinct 6. I was all for the original article. It had dollar figure and a quantity in there. This new amended version doesn't have any quantities at all. We have no idea how many. We have no idea how much it's going to cost us. And this isn't carte blanche where you just come in and say, hey, I need 3 signs, give me $15,000. I'm asking we vote no on this only because there is no dollar figure based on the amended motion.
There is a dollar. There is a dollar figure.
For clarification, it now
So
says
are
$5,000.
you going to do all the signs in the town for $5,000?
Well, you already asked a question.
What?
You already asked one question. We're pro and con
this
debate.
is-
I'm sorry.
That's
my
a
bad.
rhetorical question.
Is that rhetorical? Okay, I
Yes,
won't answer it then.
Okay. Anyways, all I'm saying is $5,000 were for one sign. If we're going to put multiple signs up there, how much money do we really need? And are they going to have to come back and say, hey, I need $15,000 more for 3 more signs? I think we should vote no on this and go back to the original article.
Mr. Moderator, could I address Mr. Feinberg through you?
We're in pro and con debate right now. Did you
Yeah.
wanna-
I'd like to say something in favor, but in addressing Mr. Feinberg's concern.
Pro and con, go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Feinberg, we're not going to be adding signs. The motion is, or the amendment is, that as signs are made, new signs that would go up anyway, we'll just put this designation on them. And as old signs are replaced, the same thing. So we're not, the amendment is not intended at all to cost anything to the town, other than, maybe the extra ink on a sign. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Teddy, you're next. Please identify yourself.
Hello, Teddy Hanson Dorr, Precinct 3. I'm strongly in favor of this article, the amended version as well. I have been to Glen Echo Pond. I love Glen Echo Pond. And when I received the email that had the picture of the sign in it, I actually couldn't read it, so I did go look at the sign. The sign is outdated. It does not use tribal names. It focuses on sort of the people who spent a lot of their time sending the people who lived here away. I come from a family who loves to read signs. I love to read accurate signs. I believe these should be accurate, and I'm in favor of them being accurate. And I think this is a small amount of money that, for a very simple item that can make a big difference to the accuracy of our history. I know that the town historian is in favor of this as well. I've listened to many presentations by him. I trust his knowledge of the area, and I trust the presenter's knowledge of the area, and of what would be the most beneficial. And I urge you to vote yes. This is, frankly, one of the easiest things we can do to redress a wrong that has occurred in the past. And I think the 300th anniversary is a great time to do it, and it would be a very cool thing to be able to say we're putting up new signs. So I'm in favor, and I urge you to vote yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Noah, you're up next. Please identify yourself.
Hi, Noah Beta Haron, Precinct 6. I am also strongly in favor of this article. We are not being asked to give land back here. You're not being asked to give a tremendous amount of money. We're being asked to do the very basic politeness of acknowledging the people who are from here, and not just like pretending that this land was always ours, right? It's so basic, it's so simple, it's such a small ask of us of that basic politeness, and it's going to cost us something like 17 cents per resident. Okay? Because I did the math, and it's about 17 cents per resident once in order to get this particular sign at this particular location. It's going to cost no additional money for us to, whenever we happen to be replacing a sign, also add appropriate language. It is so easy, it is so basic, it's a pittance. Just vote yes, please.
All right, thank you for your comments. Moving on, Heidi, please identify yourself to the body.
Heidi Tucker, Precinct 8, FinCom, member of the Ho-Chunk Nation out of Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, they have these things on the side of the road, and they're called waysides and historical markers. And all of the historical markers say something like, the first white baby was born here in this town on this day, and the first white man was here on this day. Time did not start when a majority of these people came into this room. Indigenous people have been here for a very, very long time. And a land recognition is literally the least you could do. And it's a very, very small amount of money. And it's also really pathetic that we are putting so much time and energy into something that costs so little, and it seems so basic. Thank you. But sorry, there was a peanut gallery comment over there. So I am asking you to pass this. I did not sit on the committee that did this because my tribe is not from here. So out of respect, I wanted to make sure that this was written in a way that was from the people who originated here and the descendancy. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this, and thank you for being here tonight. And I ask that you vote in the affirmative this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your comments. Next up is Marina. Did you want to say anything, Marina? Nope. Next up is Mr. Starr.
Yeah, Edward Starr, Precinct 6. This is for Roberta.
No.
Roberta, do you know how much a new sign would cost? Do you have a signage company?
Mr. Starr, let me redirect you. This is pro and con debate. No more questions on this? Yep. Are you in
How
favor?
can we vote on it if we don't know how much a sign costs?
We know this article spends up to $5,000, just trying to give you a summary for these signs.
But if you want all the signs up there, you're going to have to spend something else. You don't know.
They do know the article will expend up to $5,000 for signage. All right. Thank you, Mr. Starr. Appreciate it. Next up is Matt over here.
Matt Phillips, Precinct 2. Move the question.
All right. All right, that cuts off debate. I need a two-thirds vote. I'm going to ask for a voice vote first. All in favor of cutting off debate, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, any abstentions? I declare that a two-thirds vote, all right? Now we're back to the article, the main motion as amended, all right? This is simple majority. I think we're ready to vote. Are we ready? Please vote now, 1, 2, or 3. All right, Article 38 passes.
Mr. Moderator.
35,
Mr. Moderator.
35, no, and 2 abstentions.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Laurie,
I'd make a motion to dissolve the annual town meeting now that the vote is done.
All right, Mr. Laurie made a motion to dissolve the annual town meeting, second by Scott Carrara. Yeah. No, wait a minute, wait. I'm going to ask Mr. Town Council to explain the process here.
We have a tabled article.
We have a table article.
What table article are we talking about?
32.
That was laid on the table. Nobody took it off, and I was also told by Bill Roth it's going to stay off the table. It can be dissolved. It can go just goes by the wayside.
So, Mr.
As
Moderator.
a senior, I resent being pushed to the wayside.
I didn't say push. Goes by the wayside. All right, I'm going to ask the Town Council first.
Mr. Moderator, I think you asked me a question about what the effect of dissolving the annual town meeting would be. And first of all, to your earlier point, that's correct. Anything that hasn't been taken from the table is dissolved along with the meeting. And so that would be the end of that article. If the proponent wanted to take it off the table, the proponent had the opportunity to do so. And I don't believe it's here tonight. A motion to dissolve concludes with finality the annual town meeting. That means it ceases to exist if that motion passes. It cannot be brought back, and no business that was conducted under the annual town meeting can be brought back until the select board posts a warrant to that effect. And so because we have a special town meeting, and I believe after conferring with the moderator and deputy moderator, as well as my colleague who was here that night, that the special was adjourned until the conclusion of the annual. And so if this motion passes, we move directly on to the special town meeting, and all annual town meeting business would be concluded. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Simple majority. Right?
Simple majority, and it's not
Point of order.
debatable.
What happens to Article
Juan
32?
Fox, I didn't recognize
Juan Fox,
you
30,
yet. Yeah.
Precinct 1. What happens to Article 32?
I just said that. It's on the table, and it will just, I can use the word die on the table. It just stays there, never came off the table, so it gets dissolved too, goes away.
Point of order.
Marguerite Mitchell, please identify yourself.
Marguerite Mitchell, Precinct 3. Through you, Mr. Moderator, to Town Council, can you confirm, please, that if we are to dissolve the annual town meeting, that means that we could not make any motions to reconsider anything in the annual town meeting, including the budget?
Town council, go ahead.
So, through you, Mr. Moderator, to the speaker, that's correct. And as I stated before, any business of the annual town meeting would be concluded if the meeting is dissolved. Can't be reconsidered. It doesn't exist. You can't go back and reopen it unless and until the select board posts a warrant to do that. So once it's dissolved, it is over with finality. It's concluded. We would move on to the special, and all business that occurred under the annual is over.
Can I ask a second point of order, Mr. Moderator?
No.
It's not related to, well, then I'll find someone.
Noah, did you have a point of order? Are you up there for a reason?
I was and I did, but it has already been answered, so I'm
All
good
right.
with continuing and hoping that everybody votes no on this.
All right. That's it then, right? We're ready to vote? We have something on the screen? We're voting the motion was to dissolve the annual town meeting. Motion's on the screen, simple majority,
Point of order.
1, 2, or 3. Hey, hold on a minute, we're voting.
There's a question.
Okay, that motion passes, 62
town
yes,
meeting.
55 no, 3 abstentions. All right, we're now going into the special, correct? We're on the special. Give me a moment here. Might be- Okay, for the record, we are now reconvening the special town meeting this evening, May 18th. All right, can we put up the procedural motion? Please, once it gets up on the screen. I have it here if you need it.
They're making the motion.
All right, are we ready? Okay, Carmel, I recognize you for this procedural motion. Is that the same one that's up? It's the same one.
Okay. All right. Move to suspend the rules to take out of order the following 2 special town meeting articles and to hear them as the first order of business on May 20, 2026, provided the annual town meeting has concluded, and if not, as the first order of business on the 20th, as soon as the annual town meeting is concluded. Special town meeting Article 15, Police Department Capital. Special town meeting Article 21, Police Station Feasibility Study, Additional Options and Sites.
Second by Becca Moxon. Okay, okay, this is procedural motion, all right? I don't think there's any need for a debate, so let's vote it now. Simple majority, 1, 2, or 3. Please vote now. That procedure motion passes, 74 yes, 29 no, and 2 abstentions. Thank you all for voting. All right, now we're in the special town meeting on page 48. Article 1, unpaid bills.
Mr. Moderator,
On screen.
that one's being withdrawn.
Yeah, but we have to have a motion to withdraw.
I have the motion.
Oh, do you have the motion? All right, I recognize Becca Moxton.
The proposed motion is to withdraw the article for Article 1.
Is there a second? All right. By voice vote, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Abstentions? You can't hear back there? Okay, that was to the article, special town meeting, Article 1, unpaid bills, 48. We can redo that. Can everybody hear me now? All right. Can I get a motion on Article 1, Becca?
I propose that the motion to withdraw the article.
Seconded by Peter Murphy, correct? All right. All right. This is a motion to withdraw the article. By voice vote, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions? I declare that a vote, by voice vote. All right, Article 2, right on bottom of page 48, adjustments to fiscal year 2026 departmental budgets. That's easy for me to say. All right, can I get a motion on that, please?
Mr. Moderator, I have all of them.
You have them. Thank you, Becca.
I propose that the town vote to fund the snow and ice deficit for fiscal year 2026 by transferring $1,250,000 from free cash to the snow and ice budget and to fund $323,544 from water retaining earnings to be transferred to the MWRA Infrastructure Special Revenue Fund.
Is there a second? George Dolinsky seconded that. Can I get the Finance Committee report, please?
The Finance Committee voted 13-0 to 1 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Thank you very much. Can I have the presentation? Heidi, please introduce yourself. Can't hear you. You have to... Oh.
Mr. Moderator, can I just remind people also that in the Town of Stoughton FinCom budget presentation that we gave to you guys, there's a list of the free cash, so you can keep track.
Thank you. Excuse me?
Missed the question.
There's a question on a typo. Can you use the microphone? Where are you?
I can say that for her. She said should it be water retained earnings instead of water retaining earnings?
Typo?
I'm assuming typo.
Yeah, typo. Thank you for pointing that out.
Okay, thank you. We can fix that.
All right, back to
Mr.
Heidi.
Moderator, members of the town meeting, we are requesting to transfer $1,250,000 from free cash to cover the current snow and ice deficit and to fund $323,544 from water retained earnings to cover an MWRA infrastructure deficit. Our current remaining free cash after our two items that we passed in the annual town meeting is $8,715,403. Our current retained earnings in the water department is $1,766,117. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you for your presentation, Heidi. All right, technical questions on Article 2?
I don't know if this
Introduce
is
yourself, please. Dawn.
Dawn Dino. Sorry, Precinct 4. I don't know if this is more of a technical question or more for the body, but I've seen a lot of people leave. Is this enough for a quorum? I apologize for the answer.
All right, if you want me to call a quorum, we'll do. All right. The request was to call the quorum. All right, Precinct 1, could I get a head count? Well, I mean, we're going to have to, everybody, the easiest way to do this is to please stand and if the precinct chair can do a head count. Everybody in precinct 1, please rise. I'm going to ask you to do a head count by... Sure. How do we know? What if somebody else? Okay. All right, please be seated. We're going to do a clicker count. My bad. Right. We're just going to do a clicker count. All right, vote. We're going to do another clicker count. Please vote 1, 2, or 3. We'll just do a total head count. Easiest way to do it. Everybody understand that? Please vote now. $79, 4, and 13. All right. 96. So we do have a quorum. That should satisfy everybody here. You're welcome. Thank you, Scott, for the recommendation. All right, so we are on Article 2. Technical questions on Article 2. Lou Gito?
Mr. Moderator,
You have to speak up. I can barely hear you. Sorry.
Thank you. I would like to amend Article 2.
Okay, can we put that amendment up on the screen? This is Lou Gito's amendment to Article 2. Okay, go ahead, Lou. You can read the amendment.
That the town vote to fund the snow and ice deficit for fiscal year 2026 by transferring $950,000 from free cash to the snow and ice budget and to fund $323,544 from the water retained earnings to be transferred to the MWRA Infrastructure Special Revenue Fund, and further to transfer $300,000 from free cash to the stabilization fund.
All right, is there a second? I need to hear a voice. Second by Jerry McDonald. Thank you. Yes, before we start debating, Town Council has a comment.
Hold on one second. Mr.
Yeah.
Moderator, through you to the maker of the motion, could you ask for a clarification on two things? One is there are many stabilization funds, and I'd like to understand which stabilization fund is being suggested. And then second, while I don't take any issue with reducing the amount of the appropriation, I question whether it's appropriate to transfer to any stabilization fund in Article 2. I think if the maker of the motion is referring to the general stabilization fund, I think it would be more appropriate to bring it up under Article 7 and move to add the $300,000 in Article 7 when there is an article proposing a deposit to stabilization. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Would you
Town
repeat
Council.
those two questions?
Two answers, you mean, or two recommendations?
No, the two questions.
Two
You-
questions.
Did you ask me two questions?
Yes, and
Okay.
through you, Mr. Moderator, to Mr. Gito.
Thank
My
you.
first question, in just a clarification, which stabilization fund?
The general stabilization.
General, so maybe we could make that change if the moderator will allow it. And then my second point, not so much a question, was I think it'd be more appropriate to propose the $300,000 deposit to stabilization under Article 7 and not under Article 2, which doesn't contemplate any deposits to stabilization. I don't have any objection with reducing the appropriation for the snow and ice deficit, but I am concerned that an appropriation from free cash to stabilization isn't appropriate in Article 2, but I think it would be appropriate in Article 7. So that was my comment, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Town Council. All right, Mr. Gito, would you like to go forward with your amendment?
Yes, I would.
Okay. You want to give a quick presentation on it?
Yes, I would.
Can't hear you. What was that comment? Right. He will in a moment. He'll be speaking up.
Okay. I would like to start by indicating why I am making this motion and several others. May I do that?
Yes, as long as you're brief.
Okay, it will be in 2021 and 22, the Select Board, the town meeting, and the citizens committed to build a new police station after we constructed the fire complex and secured funding for the elementary school. We've done both of those. I have presented several motions to begin to meet the commitments to preserve money from free cash to lower the amount of money we need to borrow to fund a new police station. I sent my proposed amendments that for Article 2, 9, 14, 15, and 16, and the rationale for these amendments to all town meeting representatives, to the town manager, the town engineer, and the assistant town manager, the police chief, the fire chief, and the DPW director. We should be proud of the new fire station complex, the DPW facilities, the library, the water and sewer offices, which are all very nice buildings. By way of contrast, the police station continues to have the problems that it had in 2021 and has added problems of serving an expanded staff. Town meeting members, many articles that I address are usually in the annual town meeting and are required components of the operating budget. Let me emphasize that. Many of those are required components of the operating budget. Think of a police department without police cars and without equipment to carry out the functions of the police department, including safety equipment. Think of the fire department that doesn't have fire engines and protective gear. Think of a DPW that doesn't have trucks and other equipment. All these things are needed. We replace them year by year, and these are operating expenses. You heard financial advice indicating that using free cash for recurring costs would put us into a funding cliff. I think we're doing the same. Next year, if we don't have free cash, will we go without police cars, protective equipment, and other equipment needed to operate our departments, or will we borrow the money? We have committed to properly house our police department, yet we hear that this town meeting and other venues that we should not fund a new police station until we have paid off some of the debt that we have incurred over the past several years. It would be a shame if we wait that long. Some suggest waiting for 12 years or more. We have the opportunity now to set some money aside to reduce the cost of borrowing for this station and to make it easier for our citizens to vote for a smaller debt exclusion. The reason we have all of that now is because we have kicked the can down the road in the past. The time is now to support the police that we depend on so much. Town meeting members, your leaders in your precincts, you can be ambassadors. Tell your friends and neighbors that we do need a police station. Tell them you hear their concerns about the costs and have set aside some money to lower the amount of money we will need to agree to borrow. If we are not serious about building a police station soon, why would we have an article to do it, to have another study? The town manager indicated that station for the police department may best be located at the Armory, and I believe that's true. The town manager has discussed ways to reduce the cost of construction with the state inspector general. He believes he can save 40% of what the previous studies have indicated for a new station. So let's get on board with a strategy to get citizens' approval to build a new police station for our police force and for our community. I hope we make the changes proposed in these amendments and begin to satisfy our commitment to our police officers and to the department. So that's the reason for the number of articles that I have suggested that we begin to take money from. We've got to go and ask everybody in town to vote. We're hearing things that would indicate that there are a number of people that don't want to do that. I sat in the big chairs with Mr. Carrara and others when we voted in 2021 to go ahead with just the fire department.
Mr. Gito, I'm going to ask you to wrap it up.
Thank you very much. I'll be happy to do that.
Are you all set?
I am, and I would like to do these transfers so that we can tell the people in the town that we're listening to them. You town meeting members were part of that. Please, please help make sure that we can get a police station and get the voters to support that. These are tough economic times. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. On your amendment, Mr. Gito, I have to tell you, is it up on the screen? What it says in the last sentence, last phrase, and further to transfer $300,000 from free cash to the stabilization
To
fund.
the general stabilization fund.
Right, I understand that. It is beyond the scope of the Article 2, but you can bring it back at Article 7.
If,
okay? It's
may I
beyond the scope.
ask a question?
You can ask a question.
If we do not move that at this point, but just leave it in free cash, then we can take the free cash that is accumulated and move it from this article and others to the general stabilization account? Is that what you are suggesting?
Yeah, Town Council, if you can answer that. I'm going to let Town Council take a
Thank you.
answer to that.
So the town's finances might be better described by some members of the financial team, but to the extent you're asking a legal question, if the transfer of the $300,000 from free cash isn't made in this article, then that money just goes back into the free cash, unallocated funds, and it can be brought up in another article. So for example, you could raise another article by $300,000 and use that $300,000 in free cash to make a larger appropriation to the general stabilization, as I suggested and the moderator just did, for example, in Article 7. And so that free cash remains available until it's appropriated in another article.
May I, Mr. Moderator,
Yes, go ahead.
ask a second question?
To the town council or to?
Yes.
Finance? Go ahead, please.
Some of the articles that I would like money moved into the general stabilization account occur after Article 7, and they would be Articles 9, which ones are they? 9, 14, 15, and 16. And how would that be accomplished?
It's very difficult for us to, I don't know, FinCom, Finance Committee, Finance Director would like to even take a stab at that. It's an amendment, and we can either vote it, the body can either vote it up or down. You want to go that way. I don't know how to, I'm not in charge of all the finances for the town.
Point of procedure. Could we just take the stabilization article and move it to a later point in time so it's easier for the amended motions to work the way the petitioner wants?
It's up to the body here.
I'm making a motion that we take
Thank you.
Article 7, which has the general stabilization, move it to the last piece of business in special so that we could wrap up any leftover monies, know what the number is, and if we feel like putting it in, we'll put it in. I think what happens if you don't, it just becomes free cash sitting in a pot carried over to next year's.
So you want to suspend the rules,
Suspend the rules.
move
yeah,
move Article 7, STM Article 7 to the end of the meeting?
to the end of the meeting to make it easy.
Second. Who seconded it?
No, we're not on Article 7 at the present time.
No, what,
We would have to do that.
It's a procedural motion to help you have an available general stabilization article at the end, so you'll know how much money's available to do what you want done. So we don't have a conflict of, how do I reopen Article 7? You won't have to worry about that.
Do you mind if I suggest to
Was
the
that
body,
moved?
and to you, Mr. Moderator, that occur after we vote on Article 2? If people do not want to do this, all they have to do is vote against this amendment.
well, first of all, there's a procedural motion on the floor. And was that seconded? Eric Coleman
okay.
seconded. Let's vote that first. Okay, that's to move Article 7 to the end of the meeting this evening. Just that's a general stabilization. Then we'll come back to Article 2. All right? So everybody understand what we're voting on? No. Just procedural. Dave, you want to get up and...
Yeah, it's just to simply make it so that you don't have to try to reopen something that we already voted, so we could recognize the revenue that's available with all these amendments. We're going too early on the general stabilization article. You move it to the end, now you
It's
see
available,
the number,
yeah.
and now you can put as much in as you want at that point, at the very end. We used to do that. We used to put stabilization at the end. It was always at the end.
John Anzavino, did you have a point of order?
I have a point of order. I mean, you're talking about taking something out of order and moving it. I thought we already voted to a procedural motion to take two articles as soon as special town meeting started, after the annual was dissolved, and that was the two police articles.
That's to move it to the 20th.
On the
Wednesday.
20th? Okay, my mistake, thank you.
That's okay. We all make mistakes. That's all right. All right, so this is on the procedure to take Article 7 and move it to the end of the meeting. Just to, like the previous speaker said, kind of move the general stabilization fund to the end so you can deal with that, all right? So, are we ready? Are we voting now? I guess we're voting now, just. This is a 2/3 vote to suspend the rules. I didn't realize we were voting now. Well, let's see how it goes. Anybody good at math here? 63, yes, 27 no, 2 abstentions. Passes. Okay, we get confirmation from a lot of different people it passes to suspend the rules, move Article 7 to the end of the night.
Thank you very much.
All right, now we're back to Article 2. To your amendment. All right?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, we're going to have to vote. I heard you,
I
President.
believe that I have indicated what I would like to do. I think I have indicated why I want to do it. I think I should let people discuss it and move on.
That's very good. I appreciate
Thank you
your
very much.
recommendation. All right, we're going to, technical questions on the Mr. Gito's amendment to Article 2. Mr. Lenahan.
John Lenahan, Precinct 1. So Mr. Gito has proposed that we take $300,000 away from the snow and ice deficit. Can we do that? Do we already have that encumbered?
We have a true deficit of $1,250,000. So if you take the $300,000 from it, we're going to have to hope that we'll have enough funds at the end of the year that we'll be able to do transfers to cover the deficit. Either that, we can raise it on the tax rate.
Okay, thank you for the question and the answer. But look, hang on, let's get technical questions on the floor. Becca, did you have a question?
Becca Markson, Precinct 7. That was actually my question. Thank you.
All right, let's move on. Who's next? Lisa Lyons.
Lisa Lyons, Precinct 2. So while you just said that there is a real deficit of $1,250,000, and the snow and ice is my understanding that's the only department or fund that can run a deficit. What is the very real harm that will be done if we do not fund this deficit? Isn't it true that it's going to take money out of another department?
It will take money away from the tax rate recap or another department, yes.
Or increase the taxes to the town?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Dave Laurie.
Yeah, Dave Laurie, Precinct 6. Through you to the, I think for the finance director. So I'm thinking that your idea of a deficit is what we already spent in this past winter.
Yes.
And we're projecting another deficit if we spent just as much, or
No,
we're
this is-
carrying forward a deficit?
No, this is our deficit. I believe the budget was $400,000 for the year, and we had a bad winter. We
It
had a
was
few
like
bad-
1.6?
Right.
It was 1.6, okay.
Yes, this is a true deficit
Okay.
for this year.
Okay, so if we don't, I get it.
If we don't fund it, it's a true deficit.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Terry? Mr. Terry?
Richard Terry, Precinct 8. I have a technical question. Why is it okay to take $950,000 from free cash and another $300,000 when it wasn't okay to take $1.2 million to keep 41 teachers, special needs teachers working?
Mr. Terry, you're out of order. We're not talking
So
about
be
that
it.
one. Mr. Kirby?
Robert Kirby, Precinct 6. Just a question through you, Mr. Moderator, about the nature of the snow and ice deficit. Would you characterize it largely because we have to hire so many independent contractors to supplement, say, the DPW? It's not kind of built into our operating expense when we have
No.
that much snow. So we engage a lot of subcontractors. Is that why the cost balloons so much?
Well, we did have a couple of large snowstorms, so the staff couldn't handle all of that, so you do have to have subcontractors at that point.
Okay, yeah, I was just trying to get to the
Right.
nature of why the deficit
Right.
was so large. Just hours and
wanna add
time.
to it?
A lot of guys on overtime and so forth.
Mr. Moderator, I'd like to add to that definition.
Go ahead.
It is that a majority of these storms happened on the weekends and holidays. So that means that our labor costs for everybody involved, especially town employees, was pretty much triple what you would typically be experiencing during a weekday event.
Great, thank you.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Moderator, may I add to that?
Sure, Mr. Bayard.
To that question, Joe Biden, Superintendent, to that question, our 8 buildings during those massive storms that we got this year, my men and women worked very hard, but without the Department of Public Works doing it for us, we wouldn't have opened for probably a week like a lot of other communities.
Okay, thank you for your comments. All right, that's Bob Cohen, technical question?
We talk about Bob Cohn Precinct 5. Look at your streets on a snowstorm the day after front-end loaders, curb to curb. We've always had this thing. We've always...
Is there a question in there, Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you want to pay this? That's what I'm saying. Why do you want to have a deficit that we never had before? This is crazy.
All right, is that all for technical questions? Arnie
May
Feinberg?
I?
1 minute, please.
Okay.
Technical?
Yes, question. Arnie Feinberg, Precinct 6. Could you clarify for me, if we didn't vote for this amendment versus just leaving the Article 2 the way it is, what is the advantage or disadvantage? I'm confused on this vote and just like some clarity so that I understand what this vote is about.
Would anybody be able to answer him?
Mr. Feinberg, if I may ask, can you repeat the question? I'm sorry. Yes, you did.
This is good exercise. Anyways, basically, I'm looking at this amendment and the article, and I see over here that you've got a, I believe Heidi used the term 1.2 million, whatever it was. And you said that we could have a problem. But if we paid the original one of 1,573,544, we'd cover it all. What is the advantage of doing this or the other one versus, I just don't understand the difference. It sounds like if we do this, we're going to be in trouble.
Yes, that's correct. If you do the amended motion, we will still have a deficit in the snow and ice line item.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Gito, if you can be brief, you want to
I
give
will be very brief. The 2026 budget is $140 million plus. And there is always 1, 2, 3% of that is rolled over. If we cannot find $300,000 in the months of May and June, when the town manager has the authority to move money from any account into any other account, we are in serious trouble. There has got to be at least $1 to $2 million that will be found and become free cash next year. So that money can be found within the operating budget. Yes, I will believe that we have that deficit within that particular line item. But we have a bazillion line items to deal with. And our chief financial officer can find $300,000 in $140 or $150 million. And if not, we've got big problems. And I'm sure that that can happen. So we're not going to go to hell for this $300,000, trust me.
Okay, thank you very much. Pro and con debate? Noah? This is just on the amendment, just to remind everybody, on the amendment that's on the screen. Go ahead, Noah. Introduce yourself, please.
Noah Betaron, Precinct 6. It seems to me like just this past winter we had record-breaking snow. I lost power for a full 16 hours, and our schools weren't open for days and days. That's why my kids aren't getting out of school until June 24th this year. And I just do not think it makes any sense for us to take money out of the ice and snow budget in order to theoretically pay for a police station that we have not yet done a feasibility study on somewhere down the line without having to borrow any money. It does not make sense to me for us to take away from this year's snow and ice removal in order to pay for something we might build a few years ahead. Thank you.
Okay. Before I get to you, Cynthia, I'm just instructed the town clerk to take out the language that was beyond the scope in that article. All right. Cynthia Walsh?
Cynthia Walsh, Precinct 3. I urge people to vote against the amendment. My late father did this kind of work, and sometimes he waited 2 years to get his pay. That's not fair to the contractors. We're asking them to work in bitter cold weather for hour after hour after hour, and then we're saying, oh, we'll get to you in May or June. For some people, this is how they support their family. It's not a hobby, it's a job. People that do jobs should get paid in a timely fashion.
Thank you, Cynthia. Anybody else pro and con debate? Okay, we're getting there. I don't see anybody else. I think we're simple majority. On the amendment, 1, 2, before you do it up, I'm just telling you, 1, to approve the amendment, 2, to say no to the amendment, 3, to abstain. All right, we all understand that? Please vote now, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, it's coming up, stand by. It's up. It's up now. Please vote now, 1, 2, or 3. Not up now? All right. Don't get angry at the poor moderator here. Voting now, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, the amendment to Article 2 fails. 15 yes, 80 no, 3 abstentions. Okay, we're back to the original Article 2, the motion. That appears on top of page 49. Let's see if we get it back on the screen when you get a chance. Give her a moment. I think we're ready to vote, unless anybody opposing me out there. Well, you want to talk about it? Well, let's do. All right. We already voted? Let's reset for a moment. What do you mean? One and a two. Oh, it's no. There's only one motion. All right, technical questions
Yes.
on the Article 2 original motion?
Yes.
All right.
Juan Fox, Precinct 1. The question is, why is this article on special town meeting and not on the annual town meeting?
Can anybody answer Mr. Wan's question?
We'll be able to fund this immediately, right after, if it passes.
Okay, thank you. Asked and answered. Mr. Murphy, did you have a technical question?
Yes, I do, sir. Peter Murphy, Precinct 2. What is the normal procedure that once a contractor comes in and plows, how long do they have to wait for their payment once they give an invoice?
I'm going to defer to Biz for that. I'm not quite sure yet.
Could you reintroduce yourself to the body?
Sure. Elizabeth Selesky, AKA Biz. I'm here to support the town meeting and the administration with the questions that come up. With the warrants, we issue warrants every 2 weeks, which means we're issuing a check. As long as the vendor gets their request into the department and then to us, the check is issued within that 2-week time frame. And depend on timing, it may end up going 4 weeks, but we never hold back payment. We get it out as quickly as we can, especially with snow and ice vendors.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Mark Stankiewicz, please introduce yourself.
Precinct 4. Can you hear me?
Yes, go
Okay.
ahead.
Just a statement. The reason why it's on the special town meeting is this year's current budget that we're acting on. If it was in the annual town meeting, it would be the next fiscal year's budget, and our deficit is occurring in this year's annual budget. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Thank you.
Okay. We're still in technical questions. David Lurie?
Yeah, David Lurie, Precinct 6. Just a quick question. Are we at the right level for next year's budget, like, considering how much we kind of got caught this year? Like, how are we? We're not overcommitted on our snow and ice, right?
But do you know what the overall budget was? We budgeted $400,000 for next year's snow and ice budget. This is one line item that you're allowed to overspend, and once you bring the appropriation up, it's virtually impossible to decrease it. You always have to meet that level of spending before you deficit spend. Like if you cut your snow and ice budget and then you have a bad year and you have to spend another $1 million, it's not recognized by the Department of Revenue because you had cut your snow and ice. So that's why sometimes communities have a little bit of a lower budget and then they just deficit spend it.
Okay, thank you both. I don't see any more for technical questions. Let's move on, pro and con debate, Article 2. Seeing none. All right, I think we're ready to vote. Simple majority, 1, 2, or 3. Let's vote now. Are we ready? Okay, give us a moment. Give us a moment. We're setting it up right now. I know everybody's eager to vote. I appreciate that. We good? Okay, please vote no. Now. Precinct. Getting tongue twisted here. Please vote now. N-O-W. Hey, it's tough. I'm talking all night here. All right, obviously nobody's listening to me, so that's okay. 89, motion passes, 89 yes, 11 no, 0 abstentions. Thank you all for voting. Give me a moment to record that vote, declare that a vote. All right, we're moving on to Article 3, right in the middle of page 49, create water stabilization, capital stabilization enterprise account. Can I have a motion, please?
Yes.
Go ahead,
I
Becca.
make a motion that the town vote to accept the fourth paragraph of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40, Section 5B, which allows the dedication without further appropriation to a water capital stabilization enterprise fund established under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40, Section 5B, to be effective for the fiscal year beginning on July 1, 2025, FY26, or take any other action relative thereto.
Is there a second? Who seconded that? Don Dino, second by Don Dino. Can I get the Finance Committee report, please?
The Finance Committee voted 13 to 0 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Okay, and can I have the presentation, please, by Town Manager and Finance Director?
Mr. Moderator, members of town meeting, Article 3 is about long-term planning. By creating this fund, we are building a specialized capital savings account that lowers our interest costs, protects the town's credit rating, and acts as a buffer to keep water rates stable for our residents regardless of weather patterns.
Can I have the Finance Committee report, then I skip over you, Becca?
No, I said it 13 to 0 to 0.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, you're all set on the presentation?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Technical questions? Anybody? Mr. Laurie?
David Lurie, Precinct 6. Doesn't retained earnings do the same thing as, I mean, it stays in the water. We can't spend, carelessly what's in retained earnings, right?
Not without voting, but it does fluctuate. So if you had a project that you knew was $1 million and you wanted to save for it over 4 years, you could create this account and put some money in it. And what if you had a wet summer and you didn't have the revenues there? You could always go to this fund, and it could help offset your low revenue. So you could use it in that aspect as well, versus having a rate hike. There's a couple different reasons why it's beneficial.
Okay, thank you very much. Cheryl, you're all set? John Anzavino?
Yeah, you said this was going to be effective July 1st of last year?
Of this year.
This is July 1st of 2025.
Oh, it is? July 1st, 2025?
July 1st, 2025 is FY26.
I understand that.
Yes.
The purpose of making it July 1st, 2025 is because we would like to take retained earnings that were certified effective July 1st, 2025 to fund this stabilization fund.
All right, I just wanted that clarified because I wasn't sure. Can I ask my question now, Bob?
One last question, John.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know if that was a typo or not.
That was a question.
So, all right. On this type of a stabilization, can you tell me what it takes to put money in and what it takes to take money out?
Isn't it a majority to put it in, 2/3 to take out? It's a majority to put the funds in. It's a 2/3 vote to take it out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you both. Next up, Mr. Stankiewicz, did you have a question?
That was my question.
That was your same question? All right, anybody else? Seeing none, anybody else moving up to the microphone? I see none. Let's go on to pro and con debate. Anybody for pro and con debate? Seeing none. Anybody for, John, you pro and con debate? No? Yeah, I'm not trying to force you to.
No, you called me out. I'll come back. Just very, very blunt, I don't believe in doing a stabilization account for an enterprise fund, and I'd urge you to vote against it.
All right. Anybody else? I see nobody else rising. 2/3 for this to create it. 2/3 required to create it. All right. Are we ready to vote? Please vote now. 1, 2, or 3. All right, motion passes 67 yes, 27 no, and 1 abstention. Thank you all for voting. I declare that a vote. That's Article 3. We're going to move on to Article 4, bottom of page. Okay, I was asked to clarify that. That was a 2/3 majority vote. Again, 67 yes, 27 no, 1 abstention. Declare that a 2/3 vote. All right, Article 4, deposit to the Water Capital Stabilization Enterprise Account. Can I have the motion, please?
Mr. Moderator, we propose that the town vote to deposit $300,000 to the Water Enterprise Stabilization Fund, and that to meet this appropriation, $300,000 be transferred from water certified retained earnings.
Is there a second? By Jim? Okay, by Jim Garing, seconded by Jim. 1 second, please. Can I get the Finance Committee report, please?
The Finance Committee voted 13 to 0 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. And can we have the presentation, please, Heidi?
Mr. Moderator, members of town meeting, while Article 3 created the bucket, the savings account, Article 4 puts the first deposit into it. We are taking $300,000 from our certified retained earnings and moving it into this dedicated account to start saving for major water projects and to protect future water rates.
We all set?
In the balance,
Okay.
after the articles that we've already approved in the account, are $1,442,573. That's before this vote.
Does that conclude your presentation? Yes. I just want to double check. Okay, thank you very much. Time for technical questions. Anybody? Lisa Lyons, please go ahead.
Hi, Lisa Lyons, Precinct 2. Can you just clarify for me, retained earnings, it would be coming from retained earnings, which in my mind is a savings account already. So can you explain for myself and anyone else who wants to know
So
the difference between the retained earnings and the stabilization in terms of how that money is used, and what's the logic behind wanting to do it?
Do you want to answer it, Liz?
Mr. Moderator, to the body, Elizabeth Zaleski.
You have to speak up just a little bit louder, Liz. Biz.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, much better.
Okay, Mr. Moderator, to the body, Elizabeth Zaleski. On the retained earnings, it's very similar to free cash, but when you have an enterprise fund, any fluctuations within that enterprise fund, let's say we don't bring in $500,000 worth of revenue and we exceed our expenses by $500,000, you just depleted your retained earnings. So that's a net profit within an enterprise fund. So in order to take this money, it's pretty much undesignated fund balance, same thing that you would have in the general fund operating. You want to start taking money and put it away for future projects so that, you know, for instance, we just voted large projects for the water department for a water tower. You know, could we have used some of that money for design, et cetera, moving forward rather than borrowing? So that's the intent of these types of stabilization funds, and that would be the same thing for each of the stabilization funds that we're requesting, is to contain the retained earnings, or be able to contain and take retained earnings for putting it into a savings account for special purpose projects.
Can I clarify my understanding of what she just said?
I think she clarified that, too.
Bob, if she
Lisa.
did, I wouldn't need to ask. So I'm looking for further clarification.
Okay, get to the point.
Thank you, Bob. But you've given other people leeway, and I'm not going to tolerate you not giving me leeway either.
Lisa, let's not argue.
Exactly.
All right.
Look at the time you're wasting.
Ask the question directly so we can get an answer.
Ms. Zaleski, thank you. So to use an example, I'm just trying to clarify so we know how these funds operate. Are you saying a retained earnings within the enterprise fund can only be used for operating within the enterprise fund and not fund a special project? That's the clarification I'm looking for, which every member in here should understand that, Bob.
Enterprise funds, just like the general fund, free cash, they can be used for special projects. So it's the same thing. We use retained earnings for special projects in the enterprise fund. And in this case, we're going to start building a capital stabilization fund in the enterprise fund. Let's say next year we need, I'm making something up, a new water jet machine, whatever that may be, for $400,000. Well, we have $300,000 put away. We don't feel as though the retained earnings is going to be able to cover that. So it gives us an extra funding source solely for the purpose of that enterprise fund.
Mr. Moderator, may I?
Certainly, Mr. Town
Point
Manager.
of clarification.
Thank you, because
No, that was very good. I learned from Biz. An enterprise fund's retained earnings can only be used for that particular enterprise fund. Now, by Massachusetts state law, the enterprise fund fees for services is supposed to cover 100% of its expenses. It doesn't say you have to make a big profit. You just have to cover your expenses. So any revenue that exceeds expenses goes into retained earnings. For the example that I think Heidi gave, that if you had a wet summer and didn't use a lot of water on lawns and stuff like that, our revenues would be way down, our retained earnings cover it. And the example Biz used on a different enterprise fund, which is the water department, had we set up a fund years ago, we wouldn't be borrowing $6 million to repaint, refinish that water tank. We'll never have that much money in retained earnings. If we had that much money in retained earnings, we'd be looking to decrease the rate.
that clarified it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you both. Anybody else for technical questions? Seeing none, let's move on to pro and con debate. Mr. Stankiewicz?
Mark Stankiewicz, Precinct 4. Just a philosophical distinction. Part of the reason for the stabilization fund is that I'm assuming the town is going to put money away for large capital projects, which means philosophically that today's ratepayers are going to be paying for improvements for future users of the water system. And that's the difference between using a stabilization and borrowing. If you're going to borrow for a large project, that means is when the project is completed, the people who are actually getting the benefit are the ones who are paying for that benefit and not previous ratepayers, depending upon the size of the project, of course.
Mr. Moderator, I would just respond to the gentleman.
Certainly. Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to respond to the gentleman who I great respect for his experience. We have this thing called the debt limit. We can only borrow so much money. By formula, we can only borrow so much money. There's also the debt service. When we save money and invest it properly pursuant to the article you passed the other day, we make money on our money. And then we buy large capital equipment with money we've saved and money we've earned. So the gentleman is correct that we're raising money today for future investments, but it's no different than what we do in our homes when we buy automobiles or put additions on our house or buy a new home. We save, we earn interest expense, and then we make prudent investments. 4 years ago, we had less than $1 million in the bank. Today, we'll have close to $24 million in the bank. We're making money on that money, and we're pay-faring it the easy way, not the hard way, with earned income. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Mr. Laurie?
Yeah, David Lurie, Precinct 6. I could understand the logic of everything I've heard so far. I think practically, in my opinion, you're saying that in your retained earnings, you're just basically pulling money away from that when if you don't have enough retained earnings, it's harder to maintain the water department in this case because you're counting on the revenue and retained earnings in case of an emergency. If something happens and you don't have enough money for regular operating expenses in water, you can't go to the stabilization account to cover your operating expense, but the retained earnings can go in both. You just have to be disciplined, in my opinion, using retained earnings. It also complicates town meeting because to get money out of stabilization, you have to have a separate article just to take money out of the stabilization at 2/3, where you can have an article for a project and saying it's going to be paid for out of retained earnings. So instead of having like a, oh no, you got to do a 2/3 article just to get it out of stabilization, it's complicating our job in order to fund it. So I'd rather be disciplined with retained earnings and take care of, good policy by the select board to make sure there's always going to be enough to take care of business. And we have plenty of other ways, and I don't believe general stabilization or any other stabilization is restricted from being used on a water project. I think general stabilization covers general problems too, doesn't it? No. You mean to tell me if water, I believe that water could be funded from other sources. I don't think it's locked down. If I could be corrected, then that's okay too. But I see a lot better policies around retained earnings as opposed to being siphoned off into a stabilization.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Anybody else? Pro and con debate? Seeing none. Simple majority, are we ready to vote? Please vote now, 1, 2, or 3. All right, Article 4 passes. 72 yes, 20 no, 2 abstentions. I declare that a vote. We're on to special town meeting, Article 5, create sewer capital stabilization enterprise account. Can I have the motion, please, Becca?
Mr. Moderator, I propose that the town vote to accept the fourth paragraph of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40, Section 5B, which allows for the dedication, without further appropriation, to a sewer capital stabilization enterprise fund established under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40, Section 5B, to be effective for the fiscal year beginning on July 1, 2025, FY26, or take any other action relative thereto.
Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Starr. Can I have the Finance Committee report, please?
The Finance Committee voted 13 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Thank you very much. Can we have the presentation, Heidi, please?
Mr. Moderator, members of the town meeting, for many of the same reasons outlined for Article 3, I strongly urge you to support Article 5. Just as we proposed for our water system, this article establishes a dedicated savings account specifically for our sewer infrastructure. Capital needs for sewer systems, such as pump station repairs and main replacements, are equally significant and long-term in nature. By adopting this provision, we apply the same pay-as-you-go philosophy to the Sewer Enterprise Fund, saving over several years to reduce our reliance on debt and interest. This fund provides identical benefits to those discussed previously. It protects against revenue volatility and serves as a vital rate stabilizer, ensuring that our sewer users are protected from sudden rate spikes during years with lower than anticipated volume or unexpected maintenance costs. Supporting Article 5 ensures consistency in how we manage and protect both of our critical town utilities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Heidi. All right, technical questions? Jonah, please identify yourself, please.
Jonna Rosenblatt, Precinct 7. Through you, Mr. Moderator, to Town Council, could you clarify what it means at the very end of the sentence, or take any other action relative thereto? Does that mean that they have free rein to do whatever? Could you clarify that, please?
Town Council? Go ahead.
I'll start again. Mr. Moderator, through you to the Speaker, I think that's just a carryover from the article. So an article typically includes that language, a motion does not. And so the motion should not include that last phrase or take any other action relative to thereto, excuse me. But everything before that is the motion. So everything after that last comma, Yeah, it should just be removed.
So shouldn't it be, yeah.
Perhaps
shouldn't
the
it be removed?
speaker would be willing to.
So can I make a motion to remove it then?
If you think it's necessary, yes.
Yeah, well, he just said it isn't part of it, so it shouldn't be there.
All right.
Okay, thank you. I want to make a motion to remove that ort.
Okay, okay, by voice vote, does everybody understand? We're just taking some language out of the article up top. By voice vote to approve that motion. Can you repeat your motion clearly? You move to...
To remove the words or to take any other action relative thereto.
Okay, that's what we're going to do. Move those words from that article. That's the motion. Everybody understand that? By voice vote, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Abstentions? Okay. I declare that a vote by voice vote. Okay, just simple word change.
Thank you for that, but I still don't have a definitive answer as to what that precisely means for future reference.
Mr. Town Council.
Thank you.
It's been deleted from the motion, so it's a bit of a moot point. But to answer your question for the future, we put that language into the articles because of scope. So scope is an issue that the moderator polices during town meetings, and so motions can only be within the scope of the article. So in order to create a little bit more flexibility in the article so that people can be a little bit more flexibility with the motion, we add that phrase that says, or take any other action relative thereto. So we're not confined to the one specific thing mentioned in the motion. People can raise the amount, lower the amount, things like that.
So they have free.
But it's not proper for the motion, which is why it's been deleted, which was the appropriate thing to do. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, thank you both for your comments. Mr. Linehan.
John Linehan, Precinct 1. Don't we usually, both for water and sewer, get zero interest rate loans through MWRA?
Yes, they can.
So it just...
But not all the loans are 0%. I mean, they only have so many to go around, and you have to get your project on the plan and approved.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Back there.
Diane Pachowski, District 4. I just wanted to point out that that language is also present in some of the previous motions, like number 3. and
Right,
4.
Understood. I don't think it hurts anything. Can I get clarification? It doesn't hurt anything, correct? Doesn't hurt anything. We were just cleaning up the language on this particular article. All right, so moving on. Any other technical questions? Mr. Murphy.
Peter Murphy, Precinct 2. With the stabilization fund, can they buy equipment for the department, for the sewer department?
Yes, they'd be able to buy equipment out of this fund.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Seeing none, let's move on to pro and con debate. Seeing none, Lisa Lyons. This is pro and con debate.
So basically, between retained earnings and stabilization funds, we in the not-too-distant past, have increased the water and sewer rates for taxpayers. And we've been told we're going to find out what the balance is. Are we overcharging taxpayers or not? The fact that we have this money to come out of retained earnings and go into a stabilization fund is saying we're overcharging ratepayers for these funds. So I'm a no on the movement of coming from retained earnings into a stabilization fund, because that means we're currently overcharging taxpayers.
Mr. Moderator.
Yes, Mr. Town Manager, go ahead, sir.
Our costs per gallon go down every year. It goes down every year because as the volume goes up, and our manager sitting in the corner up there does more with less, that's why our retained earnings are growing. So rather than saying we're overcharging people, perhaps the lady could come down and visit the station and see exactly why our retained earnings are growing. Now, with respect to how we use the retained earnings, she does make a good point. If the retained earnings get so high because of the reasons I just stated, we should have a discussion about lowering the rates, as we had a discussion not a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, about increasing the rates, 3 years ago. And then the select board has frozen them the last 2 years in a row and will freeze them again this year. And they will not be increasing. Here's the dilemma. Nobody ever suggested it's simple or uncomplicated. If we lower the rates and stop producing retained earnings, play this out with me just for a minute, folks. In 3 years from now, we've borrowed $100 million for the fire department, new construction, which we have not bonded yet, or are about to bond, a new police station, and the new South School. And we go up against our debt limit, and we have not set up a stabilization account, and we can't borrow money to deal with a catastrophic problem. Everybody's going to be saying, how did that happen? So this has got multiple moving parts in it. We save money for a rainy day or for a catastrophic problem in case we have a debt leverage issue. And at some point in time, if we have plenty of money in that stabilization account to deal with any unforeseen catastrophic problem, and we still have increasing retained earnings because of the efforts of this operating team, then we should have a discussion about lowering the rates. What a great problem to have. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Any more pro and con debate? Seeing none, since this to create a stabilization account needs a 2/3 vote to pass. Are we ready to vote? Please vote now, 1, 2, or 3. As you can see, Article 5 passes by a clear 2/3 vote, 79 yes, 19 no, 1 abstention. I declare that a vote by a 2/3 majority. All right, let's move on now to Article 6, right in the middle of that page, deposit to the Sewer Capital Stabilization Enterprise Account. Can I have the motion, please, Becca?
I propose that the town vote to deposit $750,000 to the Sewer Capital Stabilization Enterprise Fund, and that to meet this appropriation, $750,000 be transferred from the sewer certified retained earnings.
All right, thank you very much. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Murphy over there. Thank you very much. Finance Committee report, please.
The Finance Committee voted 13 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Thank you very much. And can we have the presentation, please, Heidi?
Mr. Moderator, members of town meeting, following our discussion on the water and sewer reserves, I am now presenting Article 6, which mirrors that for fiscal strategy for our sewer enterprise fund. We are requesting to transfer $750,000 from sewer certified retained earnings into the Sewer Capital Stabilization Fund. Our current balance after the 2 items that were approved at annual town meeting is $2,362,752. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Heidi. Appreciate your presentation. All right, technical questions. Seeing none, let's move on to pro and con debate. Oh, Mr. Murphy, technical question? Okay.
Peter Murphy, Precinct 2. You want to put $750,000 into this account, and you can use that for equipment, as you previously stated. Are you planning to use that $750 to go for Article 13 or 14 if they should pass?
No, not at this moment, we're not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else for technical questions? Seeing none. Pro and con debate. Seeing none. Simple majority. We ready to vote? 1, 2, or 3, please. Please vote now. Simple majority. All right, Article 6 passes by a simple majority, 70 yes, 22 no, and 1 abstention. I declare that a vote. So that was Article 6. Let's move on to Article 7. Deposit to, oh, I'm sorry, that was tabled to the end of the meeting. Postpone, okay, clarification. Postpone to the end of this meeting. It's automatically at the end. Thank you. All right, we're going to go to Article 8, Special Town Meeting, Article 8. That's on middle of page 51, Deposit to Building Stabilization Fund. Can I have the motion, please, Becca?
Mr. Moderator, I propose that the town vote to deposit $600,000 to the Building Stabilization Fund, and that to meet this appropriation, $600,000 be transferred from free cash.
Is there a second? Who seconded it? Connie Feinberg. Can I have the Finance Committee report?
The Finance Committee voted 9 to 1 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Thank you very much. Can we have the presentation, please, Heidi?
Article 8 is about protecting the town's asset. The specific Building Stabilization Fund is a dedicated savings account for the significant cost of maintaining, repairing, and renovating our town and school buildings. Our current balance is $4,450,458.85. If we add the $600,000 to it, we'll have a $5,050,458.85. We are funding this through free cash, our certified surplus from the previous year. It is a best practice to use this one-time surplus to strengthen our one-time repair funds. This strengthens our credit rating and protects the value of our town buildings for years to come. I urge you to support this. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Time for technical questions.
Mr. Moderator, could you just repeat the number that's in the fund?
The dollar amount?
Yeah, the 4 million.
Heidi, could you mind repeating the numbers?
The current balance is $4,450,458.85.
Everybody okay with that number? Everybody heard that? Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Technical question. Jonah, you all set? You got up. John Lanahan, please.
John Lenahan, Precinct 1. I was just wondering, what is the rationale behind the number that you gave this from free cash?
I'm going to defer to Biz.
Thank you, Heidi. Members of the town meeting. What we're trying to do is we're trying to round up these figures, so this will now give us about $5 million in that account. And as we move forward to our borrowing and our position statements that we're required to do with our Moody's ratings, they see that we are taking an investment in our community, in our buildings, and in our equipment. So we're trying to round up to the nearest amount.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you both. Cheryl, please identify yourself.
Cheryl Iverson, Precinct 1. Would this stabilization fund be able to be used for the new police station?
By vote of town meeting, it can be used for any building, and if the legislative body, which is town meeting, decides to use that fund for the fire station, then yes, police station, then yes, it can be used for that.
Thank you both. Next up, Jim Gehring.
Jim Guerin, Precinct 6. When do we know we have enough in this?
When do we know we have enough in this? At this point in time, we are trying to bank as much money as we can because of the positive free cash you've had for the last couple of years. In 2027, that free cash is not estimated to be as high as it has been. So while you have the funding, the best thing you can do is put it away, and then analysis will be done once the free cash is certified for the fiscal year July 1st, 2027. It'll be analyzed for the projects, and can we continue to put money into those accounts?
Thank you both for your comments.
Mr. Moderator, may
Yes,
I
Mr.
expand
Town
on
Manager.
Jim's question?
Sure, go ahead, sir.
Jim, great question, by the way. If you look at our 5-year capital plan, which has been a document that Mr. Tisdale took the lead on creating, it includes both the schools and the town capital needs. When we start beginning to see the long-term capital needs going down, which will be a decade or more from now, and our debt service going down, then we won't have to save as much. But when our capital needs, because of aging equipment or aging building, are going up, and our debt service is going up, any prudent person would say we should keep plowing as much money as we can into these stabilization accounts, and then save on the interest expense if we can get the borrowing. Okay.
Thank you very much for your comments. All right, any other technical questions on Article 8? Seeing none, let's move on. Pro and con debate. Seeing none, this is for a deposit into the building stabilization fund. Simple majority. All right, we ready to vote? Please vote now. 1, 2, or 3. All right, as you clearly see, Article 8 passes, simple majority, 80 yes, 14 no, and 0 abstentions. I declare that a vote. Let's move on to the bottom of page 51, Article 9, deposit to the fire apparatus stabilization account. You have a point of order? She's asking for a quorum. I'll just, if you don't mind me. 94. Oh, you're asking? Yeah, we only need 85. Okay, thank you. No, it's okay to ask a question. But ask and answered, okay? So, right. Yeah, we need a quorum of 85 here to keep continuing our business. Okay, we're on Article 9. Deposit the fire apparatus stabilization account right there at the bottom of page 51. I'm going to ask for the motion, please.
Mr. Moderator, I propose that the town vote to deposit $1,150,000 to the Fire Apparatus Stabilization Fund, and that to meet this appropriation, $1,150,000 be transferred from free cash.
Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Peter Murphy. All right, can I get the Finance Committee report, please?
The Finance Committee voted 10 to 0 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Do we have to read that note? What's that note say?
Note, this completes the funding for the ladder truck as voted at town meeting article, special town meeting 20, voted May 12th, 2025.
Thank you very much. All right, the presentation, please.
She basically said what I was going to say. Article 9 is the final piece of our plan to fund the new fire ladder truck. Currently, we have $1,266,291 in our fire apparatus stabilization fund. By transferring an additional $1,150,000 from this year's free cash, we will reach a total of $2.41 million. I believe the ladder truck was $2,250,000, so we won't have to borrow for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Heidi. Okay, technical questions. Anybody? Seeing none, let's move on to pro and con debate. Seeing none. All right, this simple majority. Are we ready to vote? Please vote now. 1, 2, or 3. Okay, Article 9 passes, simple majority, 85 yes, 7 no, 0 abstentions. I declare that a vote. Thank you all for voting. All right, we're moving on to special town meeting, Article 10, deposit to the capital equipment stabilization account, right in the middle of page 52. Can I have the motion, please?
Mr. Moderator, I propose that the town vote to deposit $500,000 to the Capital Equipment Stabilization Fund, and that to meet this appropriation, $500,000 be transferred from free cash.
Thank you very much. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Arnie Feinberg. We'll give it to you, Arnie. Let me just make that note. All right, can I have the Finance Committee report, please?
The Finance Committee voted 10 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Thank you very much. Can I have the presentation, please, Heidi?
Mr. Moderator, members of the town meeting, Article 10 is about maintaining the heavy-duty machinery our town relies on every day. The Capital Equipment Stabilization Fund is our dedicated savings account for replacing long-life assets like DPW front-end loaders, large snow plows, and town-wide emergency generators. Our starting balance is $1,035,232.05. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Okay, this is Article 10. Any technical questions, please? Mr. Murphy.
Peter Murphy, Precinct 2. When you say capital equipment, what is the dollar amount, minimum, maximum, not maximum, but minimum, to be capital equipment?
$25,000, probably a vehicle would be capital equipment. Anything over $25,000.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, Mr. Linehan.
John Linehan, Precinct 1. Can we invest any more aggressively with stabilization funds versus retained earnings? Getting a better return on the money?
Well, there's Mass General laws that we have to adhere to, right?
I get that,
Yes.
but I'm still looking for the answer.
We have certain rules that we have to adhere to when it comes to invest in municipal funds.
I understand.
Okay.
But can you invest those two different, one's a stabilization fund, one's just retained earnings, which you assume is more restricted in how you can invest it?
I don't think so. Do you know?
With the stabilization funds, they go into their own investing aspect. With the retained earnings, that stays in a bank account investment, not a stabilization fund investment. So if our bank accounts are only garnering 3%, that's all you can do.
Okay, so you can invest the stabilization funds in other vehicles beyond bank accounts?
Correct.
Okay, thank you both for the comments. Anybody else for technical questions? Seeing none, let's go on to pro and con debate. Article 10. Seeing none, we're ready to vote. Simple majority. Please vote now, 1, 2, or 3. All right, Article 10 passes by simple majority. 81 yes, 11 no, 0 abstentions. I declare that a vote. Let's move on. Article 11, deposit to Special Education Stabilization Fund, right on the bottom of page 52. Article 11, could I have the motion, please?
Mr. Moderator, I propose that the town vote to deposit $1 million to the Special Education Stabilization Fund, and that to meet this appropriation, $1 million be transferred from free cash.
Is there a second? Seconded by George Stalinsky. Can I have the Finance Committee report, please?
The Finance Committee voted 9 to 1 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Thank you very much. Can I have the presentation, please, Heidi?
Article 11 addresses one of the most unpredictable areas of our municipal budget, special education SPED. This fund serves as our financial insurance policy. It protects our students and our taxpayers from the sudden mandated costs that arise when a student with complex needs moves into the district or a placement cost shifts unexpectedly. Our current balance is $522,488, and I'd urge you to vote yes on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Heidi. All right, technical questions, anybody? Seeing none. Mr. Kirby, are you rising?
Robert Kirby, Precinct 6, through you, Mr. Moderator, to the presenter. Are these funds only accessible through a vote from town meeting, or are they basically fungible as needed by the school department?
These funds are a vote of the Select Board and the School Committee to access them.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you both. Anybody else for technical questions? Seeing none, pro and con debate. Mr. Laurie.
David Lurie, Precinct 6. I encourage everybody to vote yes on this. We just voted an operating budget which was bare bones down to the, to barely being able to make their budget happen. And we need to recognize the fact that if we don't stabilize a variable expense like special ed, we really need to make sure they get 100% of this money. So I encourage you to vote yes.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Anybody else for pro and con debate? All right, seeing none, I believe we're ready to vote. This is simple majority. Please vote now, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, as you can see, Article 11 passes by a simple majority. 87 yes, 8 no, 0 abstentions. I declare that a vote. Okay, we're moving on to Article 12, top of page 53. Resend unauthorized and unissued borrowings. Can I have the motion, please?
Mr. Moderator, the proposed to withdraw this article.
Is there a second? Second by Scott Carrara. We're going to do this on a voice vote just to make it quicker. Although, thank you for your affirmative. All those in favor to withdraw this article, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? I declare that a vote by voice vote. That Article 12 is withdrawn. Let's move on to Article 13, Sewer Department Capital. Can I have the motion, please?
Mr. Moderator, I propose that the town vote to appropriate and fund from Sewer Department Enterprise retained earnings $240,000 to design, permit, install, and construct and purchase capital improvements projects and items for the Sewer Department, all as set forth in the chart below. Item 1, 2 F-250 pickup trucks with plows, $140,000. Item 2, sewer pump station upgrades, $100,000.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there a second? Who seconded over there? Don Dino? Dino. Can I have the Finance Committee report?
The Finance Committee voted 13 to 0 to 0 to recommend approval of this article to town meeting.
Thank you very much. Can I have the Municipal Operations Committee report?
Municipal Operations voted 6 to 0 to 0 to approve and recommend to special town meeting. Article 13 is written in the warrant.
Thank you very much. Can we have the presentation, please? Keith, please introduce yourself.
Keith Nastasia, Sewer Superintendent. This funding is to replace 2 aging vehicles. One's a 2012 F-250. with over 134,000 miles, constant breakdowns, engine failures. It's got a cracked and rotted frame. It's unreliable. Bed rails are gone on it. And the other one is a 2016 Chevy Silverado, which has been problematic for the last 5+ years. Four-wheel drive linkage is gone on it. It has no four-wheel drive, I should say, anymore. The drivetrain, transmission issues, body rot, and unreliable, and also was used in snow operations. And I'm here for any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you very much, Keith. All right, technical questions, anybody?
Right, last thing, sorry, Mr. Moderator, these vehicles will be traded in as well.
What's that, sir?
These vehicles will be traded in.
All right, thank you very much. Steve Wilkinson, you were first.
Thank you, sir. Steve Wilkinson, Precinct 4. I noticed that the base cost of these is around $47,000, and by the time we're said and done, we're at about $66,000. Are all of these options necessary for the operation of the vehicles?
Yes, they are.
Thank you.
Thank you both. John Lanahan, please.
Yeah, we just deposited $750,000 in the stabilization account, and we're now going to borrow $240,000?
No.
Okay.
No, we won't be borrowing. It's.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Who'll be next? Okay. Anybody else for technical questions? All right, seeing none, can we go on to pro and con debate? Seeing none. All right, let me just take a quick look. Okay, just to transfer, thank you, Scott. Are we ready to vote? Just 1 minute, please. Sure, on the motion, Becca made the motion for Article 13. Don Dino seconded the motion. Clarification. Am I correct on that? Any opposition? Anybody opposing me on that? And also, we had the Finance Committee report read and the Municipal Operations Committee report read. Am I correct on that? Oh,
I didn't hear the
we're
last
just
part.
confirming who made the motion on Article 13. You did, Becca, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, I did.
Yep, okay, and Dawn, you seconded. Okay, we just asked for clarification. The question was asked and answered now. Thank you all. All right, now we had the presentation by Keith. I'm just doing a quick summary. We had 2 questions, technical questions, no pro and con debate. And this is transfer of funds, so it's not a borrowing, simple majority. So this is simple majority. I think we're ready to vote, right? Please vote now, 1, 2, or 3. No, we're doing it all together. One motion. Stand by, please. I'm going too fast, I'll slow it down a little. Yeah, everybody catch up, please. Please vote now. 1, 2, or 3. All right. Article 12 passes by simple majority. 83 yes, 3 no, 0 abstentions. Article 12, yep. Hey. Did I say something wrong?
Me.
Oh, okay, that was Article 13, my bad. That was clarification, that was Article 13. All right, so we go to that.
Can we
Okay,
make a
Mr.
motion?
Cohen, I recognize you. Okay, is there a second? Okay, by voice. Seconded by Don Dino. All those in favor by voice vote say aye. Aye. All those opposed? 0 abstentions. Right, right. I declare that a voice vote. Thank you very much.